Yeah.
Tommy,
whose voice we just heard. Tommy, you know, production Tommy?
Oh, yeah.
He farted.
Who fired that shot? I farted.
So for our poll today, we might get your input since you're the maven. But there's that echo again. Boy, this is getting really old with that stinking-ass echo. Anyway, who is the greatest baseball player of all time? The reason I took the poll is because Josh Cordes continues to insist that Barry Bonds is the greatest player of all time, which I find most amusing. And so does most of the audience so far. We got about almost 500 votes, and he's near the bottom.
I thought Willie Mays was the best player I saw.
Well, so far he's third. We got Babe Ruth. No, actually he's second.
I never saw Babe Ruth.
Yeah, you did. As a child.
No, never saw him.
Don't remember Babe Ruth, 1948, when he had the lung cancer?
Oh, yeah, but he wasn't playing then.
No, he wasn't playing too well. Yeah, that's another point. How can punks, who don't even know who these other people are, how can they make a judgment? I saw Ty Cobb. I saw Christy Mathewson.
Where?
In my dreams.
Yeah.
Ted Williams, Hank Aaron, Mickey Mantle, Pete Rose, Joe DiMaggio. They're all above Barry Bonds. Lou Gehrig is below him, which I find very demeaning, and that's because they don't know Lou Gehrig.
Well, Lou Gehrig probably wasn't as great an all-around player as Bonds. Bonds was a terrific fielder, too, when he was
Ty
in his
Cobb
prime.
is below him, and Roberto Clemente we just put on there. He was great, but I don't think he was,
Roberto Clemente was great.
Yes, he was. He was no Jim Breidwieser, but he was pretty good.
You used to follow the Pirates, didn't you?
Very religiously, yes.
Yeah.
Vernon Law, the Deacon.
Oh, yeah.
Freddie Green, Elroy Face.
Maz.
Dick Stewart, Dr. Strangeglove, Rocky Nelson, Smokey Burgess, Gino Samoli, Bob Skinner, Bill Verdon. You want me to keep going? I could go to Gene Alley, Dick Groat. Kent Tekulve's good. Dick Groat, Don Hoke. Hey, Don, how you doing? He won't see him no more.
Dick Groat went to Duke.
Did he really? Well, nobody's perfect. How's Duke doing in that Final Four?
Oh, I had LSU over them. I'm okay.
Well, that's bad. Boy, that's really bad. You put the Canary on your own team. That's really nasty.
It was money.
Anything for a buck.
That's right.
Anything for a buck.
You got that right, pal.
No spirit. No spirit. No team spirit. Rah-rah, sis-boom-bah.
No.
And all this crap about George Mason. Who cares?
I think it's great.
What is George Mason anyway? What is that?
What is it?
When I worked in Albion, Michigan at WALM in 1966-5, my program director, his real name was Durwood Karn, but his on-the-air name was George Paul Mason.
I worked for a guy named Glenn Mason.
That's about as far from Durwood Karn. George Paul Mason. And he was a big, fat, old guy. Well, a typical radio drifter kind of guy, And the thing I remember most is one day I'm playing the news open, and all of a sudden Durwood, he used to do the news, he comes waddling down the stairs, and he had just been taking a big deuce and pulling his pants up as he's coming down the stairs to go in and do the news. You had to see it to believe it.
I just as soon not have seen it.
Yeah, you're right. It was not a pretty sight.
Nice, vivid description.
Yeah, it was not a pretty sight, yeah.
So how was your weekend?
My weekend was okay.
Mine was awful.
Was it really?
Well, I was in Florence.
I didn't go gamble any money away. So
I didn't gamble either, believe it or not. I was in Florence, Kentucky, and I did the
there.
lanes. Oh yeah, like you get when you open up the book in the hotel, and it has a list of houses of worship.
Yeah.
And none of them have Beth something before it.
Right.
Yeah, you know you're in hostile territory.
I bet you didn't have a list of delis on it.
No. But it wasn't just that. It was I did the Lane's End Steaks, and it was so cold there and snowy and just
snowy.
Yeah.
In Florence, Kentucky, we haven't had any snow here in ages. In fact, this week spring is here. Double digits every day.
Spring was there. It was in the low 30s and
52
snowing.
today. Oh, brother, I don't know what's going on.
In fact, it snowed in Oklahoma. It they had an auto racing event there, and it was snowing. But I wasn't there. I was in Florence, Kentucky, right across the river from Cincinnati.
Matter of fact, let's see. Thursday we got 58 coming, and Friday 61.
Yeah, it's supposed to warm up there by next weekend, but that doesn't do me any good. Standing out there in the snow. And the worst part, not so much when you're doing the show, but when you're out there rehearsing and you're standing around, that's the worst.
Your fat ass off.
Yeah. At least when you're doing the show, it takes your mind off how cold you are.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's over with.
No, that's good. You won't have to be going back there anytime
My next
soon.
trip, I'm going to Las Vegas this weekend.
Now, let's see. Was it yesterday morning? Not this morning. Yesterday morning, I wake up early and turn on the racing network, and there's racing from Dubai. Was it yesterday or Saturday?
Saturday.
Saturday morning. And I thought to myself, boy, them ragheads, man, it makes me very angry because they've taken over basically the whole thoroughbred horse industry, as you know, because they got all the top horses because they got the money, our money.
Yeah, I didn't.
It reminds me like when we were fighting the Gulf War I.
I didn't go to that event.
All those big hotshots from Kuwait, while our people were over there fighting, putting their lives on the line to get their country back, and they were over there on the French Riviera at all the discos, getting stoned off their ass and laid, and just having a good party.
Today's Herald editorial page,
ragheads, yes,
had letters to the editor written by 4 women, and they sounded identical, like they were out of the same clique.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or Robert Grieper ghost wrote all the letters.
Probably. In his spare time.
Like the weapons of mass disruption. We keep saying that there were none, but there really were, and that Saddam hid them in some place.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, you're right. Robert Grieper would have written that because he is a weapon of mass destruction, him and that entire programming department.
I'm telling you, every letter was written by the same person. Mm-hmm. I'm sure of it.
Right. Now, what paper was this in?
Today's Herald editorial
page. Well, that figures. That figures.
By the way, your boy had some mistakes in his story about the Marlins.
My boy? What boy's that?
Barry.
Oh, Barry Jackass? And that would be a first. He made a mistake?
He made a couple.
Like what?
Well,
You're not picking on the Herald again, are you? You're going to get joiced again.
Oh, well. I'll take my chances.
Didn't get that memo from the Beast that we're not supposed to talk about the Herald?
Yeah, I checked on that. We're okay with that.
Oh, I see.
That was the old sales manager put that out there because he thought they were going to advertise.
Yeah. They do advertise, and it doesn't make any difference. Yeah, we got a lot of trade-outs on here. Nice job there, Chris. He's doing it, this new sales guy, man. He is the best.
But anyway, he wrote that the county was not going to put a ballot initiative out there for a stadium.
Well,
he's wrong about that.
Well, they have to be crazy to do that.
Why? What's the difference? If people don't vote for it, it's over with anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, they are considering it. The second thing that he had in there, he wrote about how Major League Baseball could have stepped up and contributed money to their stadium effort down here when they were over only $30 or $40 million apart. You know what he forgot? Major League Baseball already gave him $30 million when they moved here.
What dynasty did Barry Bonds help create? Can you answer that question?
What dynasty?
Yeah, none.
Yeah, I can't.
So here's the big news. You might be excited about this since you're going to Vegas this weekend. This is right up your alley. Did you see what Beasley Broadcast Group has acquired for $17 million? The same company that can't pay their bills on time and don't want to give a raise to Josh Cordes or give George a new contract, but they could go and borrow $17 million so they could buy KDWN News and Talk in Las Vegas.
They already have 2 stations out there.
They have 3. This is their 4th station in the market.
Wow.
Isn't that exciting?
Yeah. Sounds like a place you and I could retire to.
KDWN.
And keep working.
Sounds like a deal to me, yeah. Plus, of course, part of the deal would have to be gambling, X number of dollars gambling money.
Exactly.
Every week. That would have to be it.
That sounds appealing.
Yeah, I can handle it.
So we'll say nice things about Joyce today. So we can pack up and go to
Maybe
Vegas.
you will. I sure as hell won't.
Oh, okay.
I'm not that easy. If it's got maybe seven figures in it, I might. That gambling number. Other than that, she can drop dead.
Ooh.
Miserable, hateful bitch. Yeah, this is something. The way this company, at least they've become consistent these last couple of years. They keep putting the stations in the hands of people that are totally inept, that haven't got any. Just like this triumvirate we got now with Clarence and Robert and the Beast. It's par for the course. How's Joe Bell doing? You seen him lately?
I've been away.
No, that's right. Wouldn't make any difference.
But I'm here for 3 days. I'll let you know if I see him.
I see on Thursday and Friday, I'm looking at the schedule, even though we still don't have our 2 to 4 nailed down. I see Thursday and Friday we're really throwing in the towel. It's going to be on both days. Wow.
You mean this hour?
No, 2 to 4.
Oh, 2 to 4.
No, you got Bo. In other words, you don't even know who's filling in when you're not there, and you know something? It's a good idea.
Why should I ask?
That's right. That's exactly right. Now you got it. Now you have perfected the whole thing.
Oh, I'm into that.
Good. Screw it. Just pay me on payday.
Exactly.
George has convinced me of that. Just pay me on payday.
You convinced me of that.
Well, I have to keep trying to convince myself. It's not an easy.
You keep forgetting. You keep
life
relaxing.
without conscience.
Yeah, it's like you're a perfect example of do as I say, not as I do.
I'll tell you how bad I'm getting. We got the Marlin and Mets game tomorrow, 12:50 pregame.
Yeah.
So yesterday I spent about 5 minutes looking up, since naturally they're not going to give it to me. I looked up the April Marlin schedule, regular season. We got 3 games. We got on the 12th and 13th, the Padres are in town. Both games start at 1:05. Oh! And on the 19th, the following Wednesday, we got a Reds game at 12:35.
Oh!
How do you like that?
Wow.
That's how lazy I'm getting. I'm starting to even look ahead. Oh, yeah.
I used to do that.
I mean, these people...
Well, I used to plan trips
these
around
people have tossed in the towel. Man, in fact, if you drive by our building, you'll see, like, the windows are open and they're all waving that white flag. You know, that's QAM building. If you're bringing any packages by or picking up any prizes or crap like that, just look for the building where they are waving a white towel out the window. Unbelievable. And so who gives a crap? If they don't... Unbelievable. Why the hell should we? We're too old and feeble to be worrying about crap.
Sure they're waving white towels, or are you looking at a replay of the Dubai races?
That could be it. Bunch of schmata heads. Isn't that something? Dubai. It's on the State Department's list of countries that they recommend you not visit. But other than that, the racing is great. That's why I was in. That's why I was in Florence, Kentucky this weekend. Well, I'm sure of that. Because I won't go to Dubai. You didn't see Mike Battaglia by any chance, did you? Yes, I did. At Turfway Park? Yeah, he's the track announcer there. I know, he's the worst in the world. I keep bringing that up only because I just can't believe that he can keep a job anywhere. He's just horrendous. I don't want to hear he's a nice guy. He's just horrendous. He's a very nice guy. He's a terrible, terrible... I don't disagree with you, but he is nice. The world's worst. I mean, he's just an embarrassment. He's like a county fair race announcer from the old harness tracks, you know, like in Sturgis, Michigan, someplace like that.
And there they go.
Oh, okay. There's the second race from Windsor last night with my good friend Marty Adler, a good Jewish boy. Well, listen, have a great day. You too. What do we got on? We got Curtis this afternoon. At least that's something. Yeah. I like Curtis. Curtis does a good job. That's probably why they're not going to give it to him. I like him too. Because we need to develop somebody new under the age of 100 on this station, but they don't get that. Panthers are at Boston tonight. Panthers and the Bruins. By the way, the Leafs aren't going to make the playoffs. That's already a good done deal, even though they won last night. They're throwing in the towel. So if they're not going to make it, how are the Panthers, who are now a point behind the Leafs again? They're not. Although they have a real soft schedule, but they got these 3 road games coming up. They can't win a game on the road. That's the problem. They're at the Bruins tonight, who just fired their GM. They're at the Penguins on Wednesday. That's a game I'd be careful of. Boy, the Canadians tried like hell to lose that game to the Penguins last night. They tried to give it away. And so did the Leafs to New Jersey. But anyway, don't start with that hockey talk. That'll be the end of us. This is your time. No, that's right. It's not my time now, so I can take the rap for that. I'm the hockey maven. All right. Mike and the Maven. Well, you have a good day, a very good one. Good day. Well, and see, we got Lenny Martez on tomorrow night, 7 to 10. Like I said, they're waving the white hankies. Remember, it was who was it with the white hankies? Was that Rick Weaver? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it was him with the white hankies. Bob Prince had the green weenies, and it was. You're talking about Wick Weaver. Wick Weaver, yeah. That was the guy. Wick Weaver, I remember him. Oh, come on, he was great. Oh, I love Rick. He wasn't the nicest guy to ever,
The fans beginning to blow the play selection.
Yeah. Toward the end, he got a little confused. But it happens to the best of them. That's what I heard. Have a great day. You too. Bye.
The views expressed on the previous programs are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and do not reflect those of the Beasley Broadcast Group, its staff, advertisers, or agencies.
Sports Radio 560.
Anybody seen Quadrivium yet?
Fort Lauderdale.
Of it.
Wonderful WQAM. Special with a happy DJ. Oh!
Who's the Scientologist that turned out to be a hypocrite?
Chef.
Very dang right. Who is the dude that gets mad when they put down Tom Cruise?
Chef.
Can you dig it? Who's the cat that's making fun of every other religion?
Chef.
Right on. They say Chef is one brainwashed mother.
Shut your mouth.
I'm talking about Chef.
Then we can dig it.
He's a two-faced blowhard, but no one understands him but L. Ron Hubbard.
Dumb Chef.
Yeah, he's doing infomercials for the Soul Hits of the 70s, Isaac Hayes. Did you know that? I seen it last night on the Gambling Channel.
Well, I'm going to buy 3 copies.
He's doing the infomercials now. That's how much of a sellout he is.
That's
Isaac Hayes. Well, screw him and Joyce.
Did you see that episode yet? They played it over the weekend again, a couple times.
What do you mean, did I see it?
The one where they killed him off.
Oh, no.
Oh, because it's one to see.
I'll be damned. I'm waiting for the rerun of the Out of the Closet.
You fairy.
I'm waiting for that.
Hold your breath.
When it's on.
Yeah.
10:13. Oh, speaking of closet case.
The American Revolution.
Oh, the American Revolution. And here come the Indians are coming. And the British are coming. You all know the name Dry Concepts, I'm sure, because I've been talking about them for over 21 years. That's how many years I've used them in my home. In fact, they were in my house 2 weeks ago today. And made my carpets look just like brand spanking new, just like they'll do for you. Before you go out and spend thousands of dollars to replace your carpeting, no matter how hopeless they may look right now, give Dry Concepts a call. Tell them Troy Stratford sent you by. They will absolutely pee in their pants laughing. And let Dry Concepts bring your carpets back to life. When they finish with their fabulous job, they leave your carpets vibrant in color, soft to the touch, and stain-free. Dry Concepts is the only company that I trust, the only one you ought to be trusting, too. And just in case you weren't aware of it, not only do they do carpet cleaning, they also specialize in drapery cleaning, upholstery cleaning, deep cleaning of your expensive leather furniture, and much more, too. All of these...
Do they clean leather chairs?
Yes.
They might have to.
Hey, that's right. They might have to clean the chair in there if Brett don't get his ass out of the tea room and let George go in there and do an ace, deuce, and a trace. And pretty soon it's going to be a catorce if you don't cut the crap. I mean, without a doubt, one of the best things you can do for your Oriental or area rugs is use a quality underlayment. Maybe that's what you need is an underlayment right now. Like a flying carpet underneath you, just in case.
Shower curtain.
It's essential for extending life and beauty of your area rug, and a quality underlayment provides critical cushioning and prevents skidding in hard floors. Oh, yeah, you might skid right down the hallway, right to the tea room. During this month, during March, get 15% in savings on all underlayment padding from Dry Concepts. As you know by now, I hope. Always professional, always on time, and always give you a written guaranteed price up front before they do their fabulous, unbeatable job. Carpet cleaning, water damage restoration, pet odor treatments, mattress cleaning, say goodbye to those dust mites, and lots more. Call the best and trust the best. Dry Concepts. Call them toll-free in Dade, Broward, and the Palm Beaches, and tell them that Troy Stratford told you to call 1-800-248-5071. That's 1-800-248-5071, or on the web, dryconcepts.com.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Oh. Neil Rogers.
Hey, it's Fat Alberta.
This is Bill Cosby coming at you with music and fun, and Fat Alberta's going to be wearing girls' clothes before it's all done.
Hey, Bafaba Alberta, Waba, are you wearing a dress?
Hey, it worked for Martin Lawrence and Tyler Perry, so I'm going to dress the same way. Hey, look, here comes Weird Harold.
Why you calling me weird, Fat Alberta? You the one wearing high heels. Ain't that right, Russell?
That's right. Fat Alberta's like school on Thanksgiving.
School on Thanksgiving?
Uh-huh. No class.
Well, kids, what did we learn today? You see, if you are an African-American comedian and you want a #1 movie, you got to dress up like a woman. And that's the real drag.
10:19 at 560 WQM. He's a real laugh ride, ain't he, huh?
No.
Not. So did George make it back or what?
You never got in there? No, I never got in there. I went in there during the break, and they had reloaded. Like, there's a whole new crowd in there.
Reloaded?
Apparently a line had formed.
Play on words?
A little bit. Apparently a line had formed because Brett took forever to get out of there. So I'm like number 42 now in the building, waiting to get in there.
George is going to take a number 42.
That's how much it's going to weigh, too.
See exactly what that consists of.
Good Lord.
I think I'm going to run down these these bad bits.
Yeah.
I guess it makes it funnier the fact that they're supposed to sound bad and the drop-ins are like.
Pimp. Pimp.
Oh, it's tough out there for a pimp.
Pimp.
Oh, man, those are great edits, ain't they?
Pimp.
Those are like the quick edits we have to do, like with the buttons on the board, you know, the Joyce edits.
Yeah.
Of a pimp Christmas, just like the ones I used to know.
Oh, could he belt out an ounce of sound or what? Their bingle.
When you wish upon a pimp.
You know, Let me play that again. You notice the S from star? They did these purposely, so sloppy that it's...
When you wish upon a pimp.
Oh, my kind of edits. There you go, Joyce. Take those and shove them where the moon don't shine. Maybe they'll send her fat ass off to Vegas. Lose her in the mountains somewhere. 21 past 10 at 560 WQAM. Happy Monday to you. Curtis Stevenson at 2 today. There you go. That makes some sense. That's why he won't be back on tomorrow, because we got a ball game. Mad Dog at the AAA Arena. Now, what's that all about? He got a big game tonight or something, Josh?
Oh, they're all big games.
Oh.
Well, they're all big guys.
Well, including 4 to 6:30, it's the Mad Dog at the Mickey Arison Yenta Arena. Panther Preview, 6:30. They're on the road to play the Bruins at the Fleet Enema Center, 7 o'clock. And Jesse Agler, 10 o'clock tonight for Eddie K. Well, look at this schedule this week. Guess Eddie's on vacation this week. So tomorrow night we got Curtis at Goldfingers and Lenny Martez on Thursday. Oh, a lot of Lenny Martez and Joe Zagacki this week. Like I said, wave those big white towels, baby. We surrender. We give up. More good news from Iraq. Police found 30.
About 30, man.
More victims of the sectarian slaughter ravaging Iraq, most of them beheaded. Dumped on a village road north of Baghdad yesterday. At least 16 other Iraqis were killed in the U.S.-backed raid in a Shiite neighborhood of the capital. As the bloodshed and murder continues. Okay, here's the poll result from Friday. 2,196 vote. How do you like that?
I like it.
Which of these women would you like to see naked or you haven't seen naked already? Naked. Jessica Alba and Jessica Simpson had a good battle going toward the ass end, but then Jessica's ass pulled ahead. Jessica Alba, 174, and Jessica Simpson, 175. Oh, and 145, I'm sorry. Jessica Alba win it. Barbara and Jenna Bush. Now, let's see. Where's the one from the first time we did this? I got it in my pile somewhere. That was the one constant is the Bush twins are third. 124, your president's daughters. Jennifer Love Hewitt, 116. Why would anybody want to see that donkey naked? I have no idea. She is nasty.
Yes.
Shakira, 104. Sandra Bullock, 75. None of them, I'm gay, 72. That's 3.2% of the audience are gay men. Shania Twain, 72. Dolly's Parton, 70. Don't ask me why. I hate this poll, 67. None. I'm a heterosexual female, 65. 2.9% heterosexual females on this audience. Pretty weak. Anna Cornaholia, 60. Barbara Eden, 60. Beyonce Knowles, 59. Jennifer Aniston, 55. Heather Locklear, 54. Mariah Carey and her one big boob, and Kirsten each had 44. Britney Spears, 42, and Nikki Cox, 42. Britney had won the original one 5 years before in a gland slide, and now she slid way, way down. She's not even bubbling under. Also, Nikki Cox had 42. The Olsen twins, 41. Jessica Biel, 41, no matter how you spell it. Sarah Michelle Gellar, 41. Sofia Vergara, 41. Octavio Vergara, the jockey, didn't get any. Faith Hill, 41. Daisy Fuentes, 39. Christina Applegate, 38. Jerry Ryan, 36. Tiffany Amber Thiessen, 31. Tyra Banks, 25. But there's a lot of names on this list. I'm going to give them all. Gwen Stefani, 20. Tia Leone, 19. Hilary Duff, 18.
You fairy.
Hilary Duff. Didn't hear from Duff this morning.
I don't care who you are, you fairy.
He came by.
Lindsay Lohan, he did?
Yeah.
You blew him off?
Excuse me.
Lindsay Lohan, 17. Tony Braxton, 17. Julia Roberts, 17. What that was the movie I saw her that I had seen before over the weekend. I just shoved it away real fast. Julia Roberts. It wasn't very good. Christina Aguilera, 16. Winona Ryder, 15. Allie Landry, 15. Melissa Joan Hart, 14. Martina Hingis, 14. Cindy Margolis, 13. Had to get a Jew on there. Christy Brinkley, 13. Jennifer Garner, 11. Adriana Lima, 10. Vivica Fox, 9. Jules Asner, 8. Elizabeth Filarski from Survivor, 7. Neve Campbell, 6. Allie Lardass had 5. Jenny Garth, 4. Bridget Wilson, 4. Rebecca Gayhart, 3. And Lauren Holly had 3. Out of just under 2,200 votes. Now, today's poll, which we did just to piss off, to make a point to Josh.
I noticed.
What? No, look, I think it's valid. If he would, you have every opportunity for him to come out there on top. What do I know? What do I know about the public thinking on this? Well, now we're finding out. Who is the greatest baseball player of all time?
Well, everybody hates him. I mean, it's a fact. It's just because of his attitude.
No. Wait a minute. This isn't a popularity contest. We're talking
Sure
about greatest. No, it's not.
Everyone hates Barry Bonds because of his attitude.
Well, let me ask you
and
something.
I don't deny
that. People hate me like poison, too, and aren't we usually number one on this show? So where's the logic in that? If the people that hated me would put it down, we'd be number 1/10. That's how high we would be.
Yeah, but you didn't take steroids that we know of.
Not yet. I'm thinking about it, although I have had roids.
Yeah.
Believe me, especially from this station. Oh, my God, what a pain. Okay, let's do the break. We'll do a little
Good.
tease there.
I'm going to make another attempt.
Well, no, you can go anytime you want. You don't have to sit there. Josh and I can handle it. We can fake our way through.
I don't want to miss anything.
Intellectual prowess.
Something funny might happen.
You don't want to miss anything?
That's right.
Oh, my God. Well, in that case, oh, brother. There. See, you already heard it.
I had another word in mind.
Then you go and do your... So I just don't understand it, and it just proves my point about standing there at the windows with waving the white flags, is that our tea room is backed up for about 1,500 deep. We got people that don't even work there ready to take a 1, a 2, and a 3 in the QN tea room. Boy, you talk about a place that's full of crap. That's us. How is that possible? I mean, there just aren't that many... what about the one down on the second floor?
Yeah, well, that's a schlep.
Oh. Well, if that's the case, then you're not that desperate. Don't believe me. I know from desperate. Most of us know desperate moments in our lives.
No, I'm not there yet.
No. Well, maybe you could tiptoe your way down the stairs instead of taking the elevator. Just kind of like goose step down the stairs.
I'll slide down the stairs in 5 more minutes.
Oh, and leave a trail. 28 past 10 at QM. Beachford has gone mad. It's madness in March all this month at Beachford. They just missed breaking their all-time record last month in February, and so they're going to break it this month. Believe me. Right now, extended cab Ford F-150s are as low as $249 a month with $995 down, plus fees with approved credit and a 39-month lease. Madness in March at Beach Ford means you must be mad not to take advantage of rebates and discounts up to $10,000 in all new and used vehicles. If you're not in the market for a new car but know somebody who is, send their ass into Beach Ford, because if they take delivery this month, during March, Beach Ford will send you $200 in cash, and that money comes from their advertising budget, so they won't tack it onto your friend's price and piss him off. Don't miss out this once-a-year event, Beach Ford's Madness in March. Let me say it again. Extended cab Ford F-150 is as low as just $249 a month. Discounts and rebates of up to $10,000 and $200 for referring a friend. So hurry in. Beach Ford is located just 2 miles east of the Golden Glades on 163rd Street and West Dixie Highway. Guarantee you, in fact, I'll bet you Brett's life on it, you'll love your Beach Ford experience.
This is Neil Rogers.
Hey, Brett.
You 560 QAM.
And you're listening to the Hockey Authority, Neil God.
Who injected steroids in our bum? Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds.
Rectum.
What is he on? That Barry Bonds. He may fool someone, but he ain't fooling me.
Why is everybody trying to drug test me?
Who's always taking all the juice? Who's always acting so aloof? Who throws reporters through the roof? Barry.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds. What's going on with Barry Bonds? From Sports Illustrated right to the tabloids.
Why is everybody saying I take roids?
You know, you just inspired me before with your comment about how everybody hates him, which is true. But for a poll tomorrow, I'm going to push tomorrow's poll back to a Wednesday.
Yeah? Well, I'm pushing things.
I'm talking about Josh, not you.
Okay, I'm pushing some things back till tomorrow, too. So
You're pushing them back into next week. Wow, you're sure going to have a whole inventory stocked up there. Keep you busy for
a lot
days.
of material.
Wow. In other words, you went back in there again? Is that what you're telling me?
I went back and somebody's, some different person is there. The same person is all like...
Well, what's going on there? What is going on at WQAM? This is one of the great scandals of all time. They're all lined up at the tea room and they're all on the throne.
No, I got to say this. The handicrapper is open, but I can't use that one because
I like that one. It's big.
It's got the bars, which is nice, but the seat sits too high and, I can't...
Oh, that's right. Well, little midget like you can. You need like a stepladder to climb up on.
I need a firm foothold. I can't... I can't go if my feet are dangling.
Oh, well, maybe somebody just hold you up above the right spot.
Maybe
hopefully.
I'll take a stool with me.
No, anyway, Josh inspired me. Don't you think that's a good poll? Who's the most hated athlete? Who's your most, what athlete do you hate the most? Josh, you think that's good?
He will win.
Barry Bonds?
Yes.
More than OJ?
Oh, I don't know. Dennis Rodman.
See, that, in other words, I wouldn't do the poll if it just to make Barry Bonds look bad, which he does a good job of that himself. But OJ, you think he can beat?
I think
Pete Rose? Pete Rose?
No, he won't beat OJ. He won't beat OJ.
Maybe Pete Rose, give him a run for the money.
Yeah. Well, we'll do that tomorrow. I like that poll. Okay, anyway, the greatest baseball player of all time, that's the one for today. Let's stick to the day first, okay? Let's not get too far ahead. Although George has been making a run to the hay and it ain't doing much good. 644 votes. Babe Ruth, 130. That was my vote. That's what I told you on Friday before we took any vote. Baby Ruth. Great pitcher, great hitter, great slugger. Not the fastest of foot, but nevertheless. And that was back in the day of the dead ball as opposed to the live ball and all this watered-down expansion, all these girls' teams. Babe Ruth, 130. I hate baseball, 105. Yeah, we figured. Willie Mays, 82. Say hey, Willie. I hate this poll, 69. We hate. Ted Williams, 58. The Splendid Splinter. Hank Aaron, 47. Hammer and Hank. Mickey Mantle, 36. Petey Rose got
about 30, man.
$100 bills stacked up on the table there at the track, and they'll all be gone in about a half an hour. Barry Bonds, 26. So he's in, let's see, if you take off the hate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th place. Joe DiMaggio, 24, just 2 behind, but Barry Bonds never had Marilyn Monroe. Lou Gehrig, 16, Ty Cobb, 14, and Roberto Clemente, 9. I mean, the fact Ty Cobb's only got 14, that's a timeline thing. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
Well, most people don't know from Ty Cobb. They would know Ty Cobb from Corn on the. It's just from Eddie Cobb.
Well, I mean,
at any rate, that's where we are right now. And you're not doing so great, your guy.
I didn't expect.
Did you go out and buy that book yet? What are you schmirkling about? You're waiting for me to send it to you, aren't you?
Why would I buy that book?
Because you're a big fan of Barry Bonds, and
I'm
you know,
a fan
if you
of
got an
what he
open
does
mind, if you want to
on
hear
the
the truth, the truth shall set you free.
Who cares?
Just like George is waiting for the truth to set him free.
It doesn't matter.
The truth being that somebody finally vacated the tea room there, and he has got the green
I'm going
light.
to have to send a scout before I bother walking over there.
I just cannot believe how this has been going on for over an hour now.
Right.
That poor little George has just been trying to, make himself a couple pounds lighter.
There's no light in there, so like in the old building, in the old radio station, people would sit in there and read all day long.
What old radio station? You mean at IOD?
Places you've been before have good lighting in the tournament.
Like at a real radio station.
So people sit and read all day.
Do you know that at INZ/Zeta, some of us hotshots like me, we used to get to use the executive tea room.
Ooh.
Which was right adjacent to the General Mangler's office. That's the one where there was that snake on the floor. That one day. Small little snake.
Hey, listen.
I'm not joking.
I'll brave a python or a tarantula or anything right now.
Like a little red snake, and I'm sitting there on the throne. I see this thing, and it's a very, very small tea room, by the way. I thought, it's getting a little crowded in here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll evacuate.
New
York Times obtained secret memo of Bush and Blair meeting before Iraq war. Oh, we should take a call or two before we start heading into my big pile. Then we got that Beasley story about the Beasleys who can't afford to give you guys an extra dime, but they can afford to borrow $17 million to go and buy another radio station. What a bunch of clowns you people are over there, man. Clowns. But they keep paying me. That's all I care about. WQAM, hello.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah. Oh, he should be on there, though, shouldn't he? As much as I hate golf, and to me that's a game. It's not a sport. But let's put him on there, Tiger Woods, right?
All right.
Even though we're Psycho Man. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Hey, put Biff Pokeroba on the list.
Biff Pokeroba, my ass. Get out of here. Probably got a Biff Pokeroba blow-up doll. I did like him a lot, though. The New York Times reports that a secret memo from January 2003 reveals that President Bush and Prime Minister Tony Blair agreed to invade Iraq even without UN backing, Raw Story has learned. There's that Raw Story again, man. The article written by Don Van Natta, Jr. I wonder if he's kin to Don Irvine, Jr. Addresses the January 31st, 2003 memorandum, which was leaked to British author and referenced in February of this year. The New York Times was able to obtain a copy of the secret memo and confirms most of the reports. Two senior British officials confirmed the authenticity of the memo, but declined to talk further about it, citing Britain's Official Secrets Act, which makes it illegal to divulge classified information. I was thinking of Brian Sears, I'm sorry. Van Natta's article contains many quotations from the memo that haven't been previously disclosed and refers to it as striking in its characterization of frank, almost casual conversation by Bush and Blair about the most serious subjects. Bush expected Iraq's army to fold very quickly and also told the Prime Minister that he thought the Republican Guard would be decimated by the bombing. As for the future government of Iraq, people would find it very odd if we handed it over to another dictator, Blair is quoted as saying. According to an article on the memo published by The Guardian in February, Mr. Bush made it clear the U.S. intended to invade whether or not there was a second UN resolution, and even if UN inspectors found no evidence of a banned Iraqi weapons program. The diplomatic strategy had to be arranged around the military planning, The Guardian reported that Bush told Blair. The diplomatic strategy had to be arranged around the military planning. The Prime Minister is said to have raised no objection. He's quoted as saying he was solidly with the President ready to do whatever it took to disarm old Sodom and Gomorrah. The memo is also said to reveal that President Bush suggested flying U-2 reconnaissance aircraft planes with fighter cover over Iraq painted in UN colors in order to provoke Saddam to shoot on them, therefore putting Iraq in breach of UN resolutions. The memo was first obtained by Philip Sands, a professor of international law at a British university and probably a distant relative of Tommy Sands, who had a teenage crush. I like that. Now, you know, the evidence is all there, but don't confuse the public with the facts. Remember Tommy Sands, Capitol Records, Teenage Crush? How about Orange Crush? They still make that, don't they?
I think so, in selected places.
Orange Crush. I mean, I don't think they make sugar-free. Damn it. They do make sugar-free Dr. Pepper, but not caffeine-free. I do like Dr. Pepper.
I think they make sugar-free Crush.
They do?
I think so.
Well, I'll be damned. I better go out and scout for it today. You get that? You haven't got your pasta yet.
No, I haven't. I'm gonna have to.
Well, I'm telling you, that's turned my life around. It has turned my big fat ass around. Wow. It's right there, Dreamfield's low-carb pasta. It's right above OJ and Osama.
I'm going to do it.
You should do it. It's no different. I mean, it's exactly the same. Don't forget what I said. Boil it for 8 minutes. Don't forget about that 9 to 11. 8 minutes. And when we come back, the scandal of the century that Beasley adds another station in Las Vegas while we're sitting, I mean, look where you are. I got no complaints, but look where you guys are. Wouldn't you rather be in Vegas?
This station presents Real American Heroes.
Real American heroes.
Today, we salute you, Mr. Overzealous April Fool's Prankster.
Mr. Overzealous April Fool's Prankster.
You've been awake for 10 minutes, and already you've put fake vomit in the sink, filled the sugar bowl with salt, put plastic wrap over the toilet, and fake doggy doo on the doorstep.
We get it, you're really clever.
You arrive first at the office, unplug everyone's computer monitor, and distribute a fake memo about switching from casual Fridays to bikini Fridays.
And hope all the secretaries fall for it.
And don't forget your fart machine.
You bought the good one with the motion sensor, yeah.
So the next time you think you can escape him, what you SOB, you put super glue on my microphone. When I get unstuck, I'm going to hunt you down like a dog, Mr. Overzealous Practical Joker. A real American hero.
Mr. Overzealous Practical Joker.
Ow, a little help. Anyone? Somebody help me, please. Ow.
Maybe that's why Brett was in the tea room so long. He's putting a saran wrap over the toilet seat.
Well, now George is in trouble because he's in there.
All right. Well, maybe he can bring back a specimen. It's 10:45 at 560 KDWN. So here's the deal. For $17 million, Beasley Broadcast Group has acquired news talk KDWN from independent broadcaster Radio Nevada Corp. The deal gives Beasley its first AM in Vegas and its fourth station in market number 232, one of the nation's fastest-growing markets. Vegas. Beasley intends to fund the purchase of KDWN with borrowings under its existing credit facility. Oh, God. This acquisition broadens our presence in the fast-growing Las Vegas market and is consistent with our long-term strategy to develop our clusters to their fullest potential, Beasley Chairman and CEO George Beasley said. Oh, yeah, you're developing my cluster, I'll tell you that. It's called Roids. The addition of KDWN improves an already great cluster, creating additional economies of scale while enabling us to provide more choices for our listeners and a more robust platform for our advertisers. Wow. Expected to close early in Q3 this year. So by the fall, we ought to be in Vegas.
All right. Yeah,
Wouldn't that be a big improvement for you guys?
Yeah, it would.
And with the big money Josh is making from that new deal. So how was it in there? I bet you the aroma could put you in a coma.
Oh, yes.
Wow. I
But
just don't get it.
I did't care.
Well, I would imagine at this point you wouldn't care.
I feel like I just ran a mile.
So the coast was finally clear.
Hosanna in the highest.
An hour and a half of squeezing for good reason. Oh, I forgot to mention right off the bat, we usually do the dead celebrities right at the beginning, but who the hell knows Buck Owens? Buck Owens, co-host of television's Hee Haw,
right,
and who shaped the sound of country music with hits like Act Naturally, has died. He was 76. He had more than 20 number one records. Did you know that?
No.
But I'm sure that must have been on the country chart, not like, yeah. The cause of death wasn't immediately known. Owens had undergone throat cancer surgery in 93, was hospitalized with pneumonia in 97. Sounds to me like a smoker. I could be wrong about that. Sounds like a big smoker.
Probably. This is the only hee-haw anything that I have in here. So.
What is that?
It's the Hee Haw Gospel Quartet.
Oh.
Singing Wait a Little Longer, Please Jesus.
Oh, yeah, Wait a Longer, Please. Oh, and speaking of Wait
a
Longer,
was singing this
Please
morning, yeah.
Jesus, let me just make send a message along here on the air to my neighbor who keeps, Jesus. There are no Jesus Christers in my house, okay, present, past, or future, and they're not going to be. So stop leaving religious books on my doorstep. I'm going to tell you, seriously, this is what pisses people off about the religious nuts.
That's right.
You just can't leave other people alone.
That's
you want to believe any crap you want. You want to put up that He is risen flag every other day, every other sukkahs, whatever you want, fine. But leaving religious books on my doorstep there, get away. Go away. Gonna have your ass arrested for trespassing. You crazy people. Anyway, Buck Owens' career was one of the most phenomenal in country music with a string of more than 20 #1 records, most released from the mid-60s to mid-70s. Well, I got to look that up.
All right.
Well, I'm sure that means #1 in the country charts, not in the pop charts. There's no way.
In the country charts, of course.
Of course. Well, there's Roy Orbison. Nice shades. And the Osmonds. Oh, there's Reg Owen and Manhattan Spiritual. Boy, I bet you don't have that. That was a good song, too. It's Tool, 58. Reg Owen.
Sorry, no.
An instrumental.
No,
Manhattan Spiritual. Great record. Who am I looking for? Oh, Buck Owens. As a matter of fact, he never had anything on the pop charts. He had one song. It was number 25 in 1965. I Got a Tiger by the Tail. Bye-bye. It was #1 country hit for 5 weeks, see? All of his big hits were on them country music, nose-picking, redneck charts.
Yeah, nothing comes up on my pewter.
Yeah, of course.
Pop.
Strictly crap. His hits are recorded with a honky-tonk twang that came to be known throughout California as the Bakersfield Sound, named for a town 100 miles north of L.A. that Owens called home. The Bakersfield Sound. Yeah. Yep. I think the reason he was so well known and respected by a younger generation of country musicians is because he was an innovator and a rebel, said whoever this is, somebody, Jim Shaw, who played keyboards in Owens' band, the Buckaroos. Oh, that's right, it was Buck Owens and the Buckaroos. He did it out of the Nashville establishment, had a raw edge. Oh, God. Buck Owens is dead, and believe me, none too soon. Who cares? Oh, and how about that guy that got killed down there at Homestead this weekend? You see that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did.
Well, that is what it's all about, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Although
guys going round and round and round as fast as they can so the crowd can see a fiery crash.
There was no crowd. It was only a practice.
I know that.
Didn't you have the decency to wait till there was a crowd there? Yeah.
That's right. He could have at least waited till there was a bunch of spectators who would have gotten their jollies because that's what they go for. Oh, no, we don't, Neil. If you just understand. I do understand. Believe me. I understand it mighty well. How's your buddy Joe Costello? He's probably shaken by that.
Or stirred.
7-11. That's the number of votes we got.
Oh, I knew.
7-11. Oh, we'll make 1,000 today easy. Who is the greatest baseball player of all time? Babe Ruth, 145. Has Barry Bonds got a candy bar named after him? No.
They should put Fidel Castro on that poll.
Has Barry Bonds got a candy bar? No. Did you ever see a Barry Bonds floating in a punch bowl? No.
Not yet.
But a Baby Ruth. In fact, remember the song A Rose and a Baby Ruth by George Hamilton IV? Not to be confused with the bad actor George Hamilton. On ABC Paramount Records. Look it up. Oh, you don't got it.
I don't have that too soon.
Rose and a Baby Ruth?
Sorry.
They were both in the punch bowl. I Hate Baseball, 115. Baby Ruth, 145. Willie Mays, 87. See, it's not even close. I Hate This Fool, 74. Well, your mama. Ted Williams, 62. Hank Aaron, 50. Mickey Mendel, 41. Pete Rose, 34. Joe DiMaggio, 27. We didn't put Hank Greenberg or Hank Goldberg on here. Barry Bonds, 27, tied with Jolton Joe DiMaggio, who just with the Marilyn Monroe factor moved into a tie with Barry, who's dropping like a rock. Lou Gehrig, 19. Barry Bonds couldn't carry Lou Gehrig's jockstrap. Ty Cobb, 16. And Roberto Clemente, Arriba, 14. Arriba, whatever the hell that means.
Up.
I know what it means. Up and away, like Superman. 717 on that poll, man. We are really kicking ass on our website. On the air, it's another story altogether. Although we do have a couple of calls on there you ought to take. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, by the way, Neil, Baby Ruth was not named after the baseball player.
Really?
No, it was named after Teddy Roosevelt's daughter.
I'll be damned.
Yep, just one of those fun facts on the Food Channel my wife forces me to watch.
And probably the Mars bar wasn't named after the planet either, was it?
It probably wasn't even discovered at that point.
Right, I would agree.
I'll talk to you.
Thanks for the good news.
Bye.
How do you like that? There's a little piece of useless trivia. In fact, if you're on Jeopardy someday, the answer is, Baby Ruth. What a horrible show.
No, it isn't.
God, it's awful.
No, it isn't.
I think that Alex Trebek must be Canadian or something.
You don't know any of the questions.
I know the questions, mister. You just don't know the answers. That's the problem. The answer is... See, I'll tell you, the original host on that show, he really turned me off. What was his name? I can never think of it.
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
I didn't watch it in those days.
Jane, what was her name?
I don't know.
No, you know who
I didn't have a ghost of a chance in those
very
days.
Very stuffy guy. He kind of like made the show into what it is. It's almost like, what's his name, almost ruined Wheel of Fortune of the first host. That idiot.
Richard Dawson?
No, not Richard Dawson wasn't on Wheel of Fortune. It was that guy with the ceramic Dalmatians.
Art Fleming was the...
Art Fleming, very good, thank you. He was. The answer is, he was so stale, man.
No recollection of that.
So stale. He was no Alex Trebek. and the original host on Chuck Swillery.
Which, by the way, I'm with you on the Alex Trebek thing. He doesn't do a thing for me.
No, I don't like him.
I just want to hear
Chuck
a lot of questions
Swillery.
fast. Oh, yeah.
Was the original host, and then he was on like some horrible Love Connection or something. He's just terrible. He's awful.
You're right, Love Connection or something.
And the Wheel of Fortune, he damn near single-handedly killed it. And then they brought on Pat and Vanna. I was telling somebody the other day, a lady friend of mine at Woodbine, and she said something. She's always joking about, oh, go Vanna, or something like that. And I said, she's 57 years old. And she said, oh, you found out? And I felt like saying, I Googled it, you dumb bitch. You found out. Yeah, I found out. I did some investigative work. I hired a spy. Yeah, it's really difficult.
I was thinking about Pat and Vanna, then I found out how old she was.
No. Take a look at her feet. Since you're a big foot guy, take a look. No, listen, that'll turn you in the opposite direction for life if you see her feet. My God. Oh, she's got ancient feet. Her feet look like Eleanor Roosevelt's feet.
Probably look like a vulture's feet.
Yeah. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Yeah, Neil, just to let you know that the Mars bar was named after the family who founded the company. The
That
Mars
is correct.
family.
That's right.
Okay.
And it might have been named after Ray Nars, too, speaking of TV game shows. Remember Ray Nars?
No.
Yeah, you do. Ray Nars, he was one of the... And his brother, I think it was his brother, was the guy that was on Name That Tune. What the hell was his name with the glasses?
Oh, I wish I knew. I love that show. They should bring that back.
Name That Tune?
Mm-hmm. I love playing along.
His brother was also a professional game show host. Ray Nars, and Chicken Neck would know. Oh, I got to know.
Well, wait for the delay to catch up. He'll type it in.
Yeah, in about half an hour when the delay catches up, Chicken Neck will call you and tell you what his brother's name was. Which his name was nothing. It was kind of like the other brothers, Cohen and Dining and Dan, Joey Carr and Steve Cohen,
Mm-hmm.
Brothers, but different last names. WQAM, hello. Kennedy, that was his name. Something Kennedy. QAM.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I think Josh is right about the poll. Barry Bonds is in disadvantage because no one likes him, and just because you don't like him, it doesn't mean he's not one of the best baseball players. Now, you got 7 or 8 guys in front of him.
Well, let me ask you this. Does anybody like Barrett and Pete Rose? They hate him like poison. He's ahead of Barry Bonds, so get out of here with that crap.
Nobody's going to think Pete Rose for the greatest player of all time.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. How about if we put on there whether you like him personally or not?
It doesn't. Huh? It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to make a difference. People are going to vote.
See, you guys are just trying to rationalize, okay? Because you're a bunch, just like this kid. He's a punk. What does he know about Baby Ruth? Okay.
Look.
He was probably in there with George looking for Baby Ruth floating around in there.
I got no problem.
I
got no problem with anyone saying Babe Ruth is the greatest player of all time.
Was it a Baby Ruth in the punch bowl, or was it a Clark bar?
Jack Nars and Tom Kennedy.
What did I say?
I have no idea. I don't remember that far back.
I think I did right. And Tom Kennedy was his brother. Right, very good. That was back in the heyday of game shows, baby, when we had good game shows, not the swiller we got like now. Like that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You see how long that lasted, didn't you?
That's bad.
And I'll say it again. I like Regis a lot, but boy, he has been involved in some of the worst crap.
Who is Neil Rogers? This is 560 QAM.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
It's big, Neil. It's bigger than both of us.
There is a child living down in Mexico who has to go to work every day. Sits at his desk making clothes for Kathy Lee. Loves the work but doesn't love the pay. They are the kids who make the clothing. They are the ones who make $1 a day, so quit complaining. It's just clothes they're making, the kind you love to buy. It's true they make $1 a day with Kathy Lee.
And deservedly so. And by the way, all this hoopla and all this carrying on around the country, if as many people were protesting against the illegal war in Iraq and all these dead people, then I'd say, hey, you go for it.
Right.
But all these people that are running around carrying on, all they're doing is saying, hey, we're breaking the law, we're illegal, and we want to be legal. I want you to change the law so that illegal aliens can become... That's what it's really all about.
That's right. Let's reward lawbreakers.
That's right. Let's reward people for, digging those tunnels and coming through illegal so that all your big business can have a bunch of cheap labor.
And maybe Americans would do those jobs if they offered them a decent wage, if they paid minimum wage, but they don't.
Maybe the Haitians would do it.
There you go.
I just said that for that guy that hates the Haitian, the crazy guy.
I had a Haitian fix a flat tire over the weekend.
Nothing wrong with the Haitians, man. They sew them baseballs real tight so Barry Bonds could hit some home runs.
I'd tell you what he told me, but we'd have to dump it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did it have to do with like a blood clot?
No.
Oh, no, that's a Jamaican thing. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Well, some kind of a clot.
No, it
anyway,
had to do with
I just looked up. Well, you shut up. Mars. Did you know that Mars makes? Well, we knew Three Musketeers, right?
Yeah.
You know that Mars. See, Mars was the family that invented this all this stuff that's killing us. Been killing people for years with their addictive candy. M&Ms. Did you know that Mars made M&Ms?
No, I didn't.
God, are we learning some crap today, man? You kids out there, this is as educational as it gets. You learn more on this show in a half an hour than you will in school in 15 years. What?
I belched.
Oh. Here, they got a nice website. Today, Mars is an 18. They ought to have. It's an $18 billion business. Oh, and speaking of that, our total on our fundraiser, $20,755. Woo-wee, man. It's just pouring in by the dollar. I don't care.
Good.
Perhaps more surprisingly and unusual for a business of our size, we're still privately owned, making us one of the largest small family businesses in the world, it says here. And it goes on and on and on. And it's got a picture of, I can't tell what that other thing is. It's got a Three Musketeers bar. I don't like Three Musketeers. It's kind of like Mushi, you know. Not into Mushi candy
to
bars.
it. Yeah, exactly. It's all whipped
Mushi.
up.
You don't have like anything exciting in it.
That's right.
As opposed to a Mars bar. Now, Mars bars, when you put them in the freezer, ooh.
They got the shredded coconut in that. I'm not crazy about that.
Shredded coconut?
Don't they? Mars bars? I don't like shredded processed coconut.
That's Almond Joy.
That's Almond Joy, yeah.
Well, you better get with it, mister. You don't know your candy bars. I'm going to tell you the bartender is going to call in here pretty soon.
I want a second opinion.
What?
I think they both have shredded coconut.
Let me say it again. Mars bars doesn't have any coconut.
Okay.
If you want, I'll tell you what. During the next break, I'll go across to the convenience store and I'll get one.
Okay. Don't
do
that.
I won't eat it.
Yeah,
I don't want it. I don't want it. No, I don't want no candy bars. Here's a very amusing. This fax is very funny. And you want to know why? Look at the header on it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh. It says Neil, although look, this is a chronic regular, so it's obviously a fake header. The whole thing is fake.
Yes.
Although there's no doubt Bonds is a Hall of Fame player, probably 200 of his home runs are tainted right now. Chances are he would have done 500 for a career. Great stats, but certainly not nearly the best ever. Right. Certainly Willie Mays, my vote, was truly the greatest player. No, I wouldn't say certainly, but you're entitled to that opinion. And Babe Ruth hit more home runs than entire teams during the dead ball era, but never faced blacks or Hispanics, Babe Ruth. And then the header says the Vasquez family. Oh, how's Jacinto doing? Still having trouble finding the finish line? Jacinto Vasquez, my ass. God. Now, what is this thing? I'm supposed to be able to read this? This fact
good luck
just
to you.
sent me from Howard Goodman, this commentary from Tallahassee?
Just throw it away.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it away. Officials' heroic act. We already. I've talked about this a long time ago. This is old news. This is old news about the way the state of Florida is punishing this guy for trying to, get the voting machine straightened out, man. Ian Sancho. How many stories did I have about this?
About 30
Get out of here. They're sending me this ancient crap. You people need to get with it. George was thinking he might have some ancient crap.
Not anymore, man.
No, thank God.
Woo!
From the Paleolithic age.
Wow.
I just find that shocking to me because knowing the lay of the land there.
Yeah.
But it goes to show you, maybe they're starting to lay down some real serious threats with that sales corps, you know?
That could be. It was right after that sales meeting. It could be.
Good. That's it. And they're all in there. And believe you me, those guys ought to be doing a Green Apple quick step right out the door. Troy Stratford near the front of the list, by the way. Here's a guy, inherited a bunch of accounts I've had on the air for years, and he is working selectively, one by one, to destroying them. And as far as service and copy, forget about it. Not in his lingo. It's not in his lexicon. Isn't that what he's driving, a lexicon? Oh, don't forget, if you drive a lexicon, you can park free at the Panthers starting July 1st at the Mac Arena. But if you don't, it's going to cost you $100. The greatest baseball player of all time. We got almost 800 votes already. This one is turning their fancy schmancy. How do you like that, Josh? We got 758. I bet you Barry Bonds never batted no 758. Babe Ruth, 157. Now, have you ever seen, film clips of Babe Ruth?
Yeah, it was a little tub.
I'm well aware of Babe Ruth's
Actually, I don't know. He might have been tall, but he was a tub.
He was tubby, yeah. He was fat.
Yes, he was.
He looked about as much like an athlete as, say, a baseball player, Mickey Lolich, fat.
He could play his fair share of positions, though. Couldn't run, but...
Why do you keep saying that? He was a pitcher and he played right field. I don't know any other position he ever played other than maybe prone.
Well, he might have played first, a couple
No,
times.
I don't think so.
I
When
can look
did
it
he
up
play
if you
first
like.
base? He did? With who?
I said he might have, a little bit. I can
played
look it
first
up.
base. You're starting to really frost my ass.
Lightly frosted?
And I'm not that big of a Babe Ruth fan. It's not like I was alive, I'm even as ancient as I am. Just a minute. I'm Googling, man. I'm Googling over here.
I'll get it. Don't worry.
Baby Ruth. Here we go. Let's see. The official Babe Ruth website. How do you like that?
Yeah, he did play first base also.
He did?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all these guys, when they get to the end of the career, when they're totally immobile, which he was never very mobile in the first place, they put him like a statue on first base.
No, I mean like in the middle and in the beginning.
Kind of like where Moose Scowen used to be. And Johnny Mize.
You know, like 13
How about Johnny Mize? Was he chopped liver? What was wrong with Johnny Mize? Huh? Are you anti-Semitic or something? And what about Al Rosen, speaking of Jewish ball players, and Hank Greenberg? And Muggsy Solomon?
Who?
I don't know. 769 votes on there, and Barry Bonds is still sucking wind. In fact, Pete Rose passed him, Joe DiMaggio passed him. Look at Joltin' Joe's guy.
About 30, man.
Since I mentioned Marilyn Monroe's name, Joltin' Joe got some more admiration there. Old Joltin' Joe.
Well, we know what kind of crowd is listening today.
Good God. Was it, what does that mean? So in other words,
we got
only
some
old
fogies
farts?
listening today.
I see. Only old people. Okay, let's take a poll. If you're under the age of 30, how's that? First of all, how to, like a 20-year-old guy, what does he know about great baseball players, huh?
Look, I'll have you know I'm pretty...
What has he got to gauge it on?
What does that mean?
Just what I'm saying.
You're a punk. Just because I'm new school doesn't mean I appreciate the baseball.
That's like saying,
game?
how about a 7-year-old kid asking him who's the greatest lay in the world? Or isn't that kind of like stupid question?
That's totally different.
He might know the
Baseball's
way
a game of
his teacher.
Baseball's a game of stats, though. You can look and see how
No, it is not a game of stats. Everything is you have to put the stats in perspective. You have to put stats in perspective.
And don't forget who looks good out there. Got to factor that in.
Well, what does that got to do with it? Who looks good out there? How many good-looking ball players are there nowadays?
Well, you tell me.
Look,
well,
you're only as good in baseball. You're only as good as the numbers say you are.
Spy report on Tom Jicha. I've been waiting for this. Neil, Tom Jicha was ripping you an ass at about 1 a.m. Friday night, Saturday morning, in between begging for phone calls. He was ripping me an ass. Well, you know what, Tom? Good luck to you, okay? I tuned in after the Gator game to see what Eddie K's take would be, and there was Tom. He kept teasing before commercials that he was going to talk about the situation with my buddy Neil, and he still is my buddy. He said he ran something on your 20th and 25th anniversary, and there's nothing left to say, and that an anniversary is not an entitlement to get your name in the newspaper. Oh, I see. I guess the Herald must not feel that way. Not an entitlement to get your name in the paper? Well, what is that? So, in other words, he made that rule up after he wrote the big pieces on the 20th and 25th anniversary.
That's all you get, Fatso.
I see. That's it. Well, you know what? Screw you, Tom. He also said it galls me that Neil says I get paid to do this show. I don't care I don't give a crap whether you get paid or not, as if anyone would pay to put him on, says the faxer, but I digress. He says that would be a conflict of interest, that he never takes money, even when he does other radio shows on other stations, and he doesn't write about Eddie K because they, what? They shower together. He also said to ask you if you once said that reading on the air was boring and that polls were weak. Mike in Melbourne. Yeah, reading on the air is boring unless I'm the one that's doing it, and polls are weak unless we're the ones that are doing it. How you like that, Tom? I got news for you. There's more entertainment in the first 5 minutes. Just during the crossover with Hank every day, there's more entertainment than any 400-year columns put together. How do you like that? Speaking of weak, speaking of boring, just Google Tom Jicha on the Sun Sentinel thing there. Just go on the Sun Sentinel website and Google Tom Jicha.
Do I have to?
And look at the last 50 columns and see if every one is another puff piece, another one of those standard puff pieces about some stupid-ass network TV show. All the same. Not one line. Forget about me. How about the other people that worked their ass off in this business for years and years? Nothing. Zippity-doo-dah, Tommy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to play something in honor of him.
Of a pimp Christmas.
Yeah. See, there's more humor in there than any of Tom Jicha's 4,000 columns put together, plus the Q&A on Sunday, where he finally had to admit that he got the information wrong about Greg Budell last Sunday, and about the fact that he got an email from Greg, and he's not in Alabama, or he is still in Alabama with a banjo on his knee, and he's also on 640, whatever that is. Oh, God, just unbelievable. It's 1 o'clock in the morning when there's nobody awake, and he's on here ripping me an ass. Go ahead, Tom, have a good time. I'll take my paycheck, no problem. You take yours. And he still has a fine-looking son. Evangelical teens rally in San Francisco, speaking of young people. This is pathetic. I'm going to save it for after the break, because it's long and I don't want to interrupt it, to tell you what's going on.
Good.
It's a Goyish Welt. Isn't that what they say in China? It's a Goyish Welt. I think that's what they say. And they know they're Goyim over there, believe you me. I still don't understand how people who are biologically constructed the way the Chinese are have made 1 billion people. That has to be probably the greatest miracle in the history of the human race.
Quantity, not quality.
I'm just telling you. I just don't know how they do it. I mean, I think I got a general idea.
Yeah. This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM. It's Hurricane Hotline, Thursday night at 7 from Bernie Kosar Steakhouse in South Miami. Talk college hoops with head coach Frank Hayes here on 560 QAM.
Neil? God?
Sharon Stone is back in Basic Instinct 2.
Ma'am, we're going to take you downtown for questions.
Not now, dear. Matlock's about to come on.
She's getting older, and she's still up to her old tricks.
Answer the question, ma'am.
Would you mind if I uncrossed my legs first?
Frankly, ma'am, yes.
Just give me a second. Oh, my arthritis is acting up. Oh, for the love of Pete, I think my knees are locked.
Oh, thank God.
Does anyone have any Bengay?
Basic Instinct 2, the sequel with a few new wrinkles.
Oh, I see what's wrong. I need to unstrap my hernia truss first. But now... Oh, wow.
There's some more of that great filler material that we play after breaks, just as Tom calls it.
To fill in?
Idiot. 11:16 at 560 WQM. I got news for you. He ain't no Sherry Woods. He ain't no Linda Thornton. That's for damn sure. He is what he is. Oh, and by the way, more good news from Iraq. I don't think we got this in the first good bulletin. At least 30 people
About 30, man.
were killed and more than 30 others wounded today by a suicide bomber outside a northern Iraq recruitment center for security forces. However, the Iraqi Ministry of Defense said 40 people were dead. So, 30, 40. Who's counting? It's unclear who might have suffered casualties, but a U.S. military spokesman said no Americans were injured, thanks God. That's what it says right there in the CNN story, thanks God, in parentheses. Here's that story again about them evangelical teens. What is wrong with you people? Are you crazy or what?
Yes.
Oh, God. More than 25,000 evangelical Christian youths landed Friday in San Francisco for a two-day rally at AT&T Park against the virtue terrorism of popular culture, and they were greeted by an official city condemnation and a clutch of protesters who said their event amounted to a fascist mega pep rally. Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
A fascist mega pep rally.
You know it.
Sounds like a cabinet meeting in the White House. Battle Cry for a Generation is led by a 44-year-old Concord native, Ron Luce, who wants God's instruction book to guide young people away from the corrupting influence of popular culture. Luce, whose Teen Mania organization is based in Texas, kicked off a three-day reverse rebellion tour Friday night intended to counter a popular culture that he says glamorizes violence and sex.
Oh!
The $55 advance ticket for 2 days of musical performances and speeches were sold out, but walk-up admission was available for $199. What a bargain. While those kids were there busy in San Francisco stirring the pot, George was smoking it, watching some Getchke there at the, where was it, the Macarena?
Pompano Beach Amphitheater.
What was that? Some Hasidic
don't
rock star.
Don't even bother. You checked out musically a long time ago, maybe 20 years or so.
Yeah.
It's
good.
good.
I see.
It's
well,
good.
What's the guy's name?
Matis Yahoo.
Now, do you know who that is? Matis what?
Matis Yahoo.
Yahoo?
That's right.
Who ever heard of a Jew named Yahoo?
Everybody.
I've heard of Bibi Netanyahu.
There you go.
He's kin to Bibi Netanyahu. And by the way, how's Ariel Sharon doing?
Won't see him no more. I saw him at the concert, though, I got to say. He was moshing.
He was sitting in the first three rows.
He was moshing with Moishi.
After stops in Detroit and Philadelphia in the next few weeks, Luce wants to unleash a blitz of youth pastors into the communities to do everything from work with the homeless to find new ways to bring others to Christ. He challenged youth leaders to double their size of their groups next year. And let me say it again, if my neighbors leave any more Jesus books in my on my doorstep or anyplace else, I'm going to stick them right up their ass. God, what a bunch of maniacs. This is what it's all about. They just won't leave you alone. They just won't stop.
You'll thank them from heaven.
Maybe I need to put up a banner there. Jesus isn't welcome here, okay? Go bother somebody else with your crap.
There you go.
You silly-ass Jesus Christers, you.
Put something satanic on your door.
And then Luce plans to return to San Francisco next year to chart the progress they're making. Oh, yeah, that's a good place for it. That's bad news to Assemblyman Mark Lino, Democrat of San Francisco, who told counter-protesters at City Hall on Friday that while such fundamentalists may be small in number, they're loud, they're obnoxious, they're disgusting, they should get out of San Francisco, and I would say he is...
Absolutely correct, sir.
Luce didn't flinch in the face of the counter-protest. The author hosted the Acquire the Fire cable TV program, Acquire the Fire.
Arr.
And a President Bush appointee to a federal anti-drug abuse commission wants teens to find Bible-based solutions for the spread of sexually transmitted disease, teen pregnancy, drug abuse, and suicide. That's right. In other words, the message is go screw your brains out and then pray like hell to God that you don't catch anything. Isn't that the way it works?
That's the way it works.
Yeah. Bible-based solution. Pray a lot. Put your hands together in prayer. Now, Ruch Atah, etc. Did he do a couple of brachas there on that concert?
No, he sings them, though.
No. The villains, Luce said, range from the promiscuity and sexualization of young people on MTV and the popular online meeting hub MySpace.com to a corporate culture that spends millions trying to woo the under-21 crowd. Woo. They want to woo them. Battle Cry will try to bring them back to God through 2 days of religious rockers, speakers, and the debut of what Luce called a Christian alternative to MySpace.com. This is more than a spiritual war, Luce said. It's a culture war. Military metaphors abound in Luce's descriptions of the struggle. He tells young people of how an enemy has launched a brutal attack on them. At a pre-Battle Cry rally Friday afternoon on the steps of City Hall, Luce told his mostly teenage audience that terrorists of a different kind, advertisers, were targeting them, that they were caught in the middle of a battle. Are you ready to go to battle for your generation? He asked, and the young people roared, yes! And some wave triangular red flags flown from long medieval-looking poles. Oh, God, there's nothing like a long medieval-looking pole.
I've seen a few of those.
I've seen many. Luce's approach has been praised by conservative leaders from Reverend Jerry Falwell to Fox News commentator the unctuous Sean Hannity. Much of the statistical backing for the horrors Luce sees on TV is provided by the Parents Television Council of Figures, which is funded by conservative foundations such as the Lyndon Harry Bradley Foundation. I wonder if that's the Paul Lynn Foundation, but I kind of doubt it. Those alliances weren't lost on the 50 protesters representing a rainbow of San Francisco's left, from abortion rights advocates to anti-war activists to atheists who staged Friday's counter-protest. There is a real intolerancy to homosexuality in a lot of these organizations, said Peter Cobb, an organizer with not an our name. Earlier this week, the Board of Supervisors passed a resolution condemning the act of provocation by what it termed an anti-gay, anti-choice organization that aimed to negatively influence the politics of America's most tolerant and progressive city. Luce said it was the first time, and of course that's where Barry Bonds plays. That's just a coincidence? I think not. Luce said it was the first time one of his events has been officially condemned. A battle cry invitation to teenagers made plain the symbolism of gathering in San Francisco for a pre-event rally at the very City Hall steps where several months ago gay marriages were celebrated for all the world to see. I bet you Bobby Bonds is rolling in his grave. He hasn't been there very long either. Same-sex marriage is another sign of the end of times. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's the end of times. I remember when I was a little kid back in the early 50s, those Jehovah's Witnesses would come knocking on the door with that watchtower. Oh, the end is near. A little kid, just leave me alone, okay? And let me go back and watch Flipper. Get out of here. Same-sex marriage is another sign of the end of time, said Sherilyn David, referring to the apocalypse that some fundamentalist Christians believe is foretold in Scripture. The 22-year-old San Jose administrative assistant came to Battle Cry with 15 other young lunatics. On Friday, he'll be joined by 60 other friends over the weekend. Well, it's too late. They're all gone now. Christian Gallion, a 15-year-old in town with his Assembly of God youth group from Humboldt County, shrugged off being called fascist by counter-demonstrators. Doesn't bother me, Gallion said. It's a beautiful city, and we don't have anything against the protesters. His youth pastor had no interest in engaging in political debates. I'm not here to hate anybody, Scott Thompson said. This isn't about Bush or gays or anything other than being here to worship together. They were all going,
oh, God!
That's not how some liberal leaders saw it. Even if it's done by a Barnum and Bailey crowd with a tent and some snake oil, I think we need to pay attention to what Supervisor Tom Amiano said, who authored the condemnation resolution. We shouldn't fall asleep at the veal. Separated by barricades and 6 feet of neutral sidewalk in front of City Hall, the two sides traded amplified calls to arms on Friday. On one side of the barricade was a girl carrying a sign that said, instead of porn, show us godly relationships. On the other, woman held one that said, I moved here to get away from people like you.
Great.
As Battle Cry organizers walked through the crowd of young people telling them, don't engage with them, one rain-soaked counter-demonstrator yelled, and next time, come back in summer. Luce said they will. We're going to be back here in a year to see what kind of progress we've made. He said, we're going to be back at AT&T Park or whatever it's called then. How do you like that for a shot, huh? Mm-hmm. I moved here to get away from people like you. You know something? I think I'm going to put that banner up on the front of my house. Or else I might just put a sign on my neighbor's house. I moved here to get away from people like... Or I moved away from here to get away from people like you. How do you like that? Right. In my case, huh? I got out of here to get away from people like you. Good God. And that's all happening in San Francisco, the home of Barry Bonds, who is not doing really well in this poll. That's because people don't like him. They won't give him his due. He's way down there.
This is true.
Although he has edged ahead of Joe D again. That's where the real battle is, okay? 916 votes. It's not even 11:30 yet, for Christ's sakes. Who is the greatest baseball player of all time? And it ain't Frank Mahovlich, I'll tell you that. Babe Ruth, 165. I hate baseball, 132. I got news for you. Let's take a poll on who's the greatest hockey player ever. Right. Talk about bad poll.
And then we can do curling.
Yeah, who's the greatest curler? Well, it's undoubtedly the late Sandra Schmirler.
That's right.
Boy, just when she got famous, she croaked, you know? That was bad time.
Sad.
Babe Ruth, 165. I hate baseball, 132. Willie Mays, say hey, 104. I hate this poll, 81. Ted Williams, 72. Henry Aaron, 58. Hammer and Hank, Hammer and Hank. Mickey Mendel, 41. Pete Rose, 38. Barry Bonds, 32. Joe D. Jolton Joe, 31. He's right on Barry's ass. On his steroid-laden ass. The size of a... Oop. Ty Cobb, 22. I was going to say watermelon. Lou Gehrig, 21. And Roberto Clemente, 19 out of 919. What?
No,
well, you've seen some watermelons as big as Barry Bonds' fat ass.
This
and they're not even taking
Neil
steroids.
Rogers.
No, not quite that big.
This is 560 QAM. Rogers.
God.
Hey, everybody. The Toy Toy Man is back again. He's gonna do the Toy Toy dance. So take a beat of the 610. Come on and toy. Yeah, toy. Come on and toy. Toy with the Toy Toy dance. Toy, 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 yeah. Hey, everybody. For the dancing toy toy who don't know. Put on a pair of checkered pants and shuffle across the floor. And sing it, toy. Yeah, toy. Come on and toy. Toy with the toy toy dance. Toy, 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 yeah.
Stick with the toys. This here's about toys. And that I never said. Stand up.
This is a big shot over here. How's your show doing, huh?
Now, see here.
I'm doing who's like it now. What are you doing all day? Shopping for jelly shoes?
Why, you know this. Get over here.
You know, those three words fit him to a T. Now see here. That was him.
That's it.
That sums him up in three little words.
I'll have you know.
28 till noon at 560 WQAM. By the way, I'm giving the wrong number. I keep saying 900. 833 on the poll, not 9.
Okay.
Not 9. Well, now because Robert is hanging over all of our heads like an albatross. 5670560, pound 560. Let's get a lot of calls on here and make Tom Jecka happy. I do want you to understand the thing with Tom and me. It's not personal, it's business. I like Tom. Tom's okay personally. You know, I've had some nice lunches with him. He's not a bad guy, right? Easy to step on. He's even shorter than you are. He comes up to your kneecap, I think. About 2 feet tall. That's not personal. It's strictly business, Tom. And you notice he said that according to that spy report. I'm surprised we don't have a whole bunch of spy reports. Aren't you?
I'm surprised.
When you think that everybody in town would have been up 1 o'clock in the
morning
listening to the Tom
us,
Jecka K show?
That's right.
Huh?
Taping it, at least.
Right. And taking notes to make sure they got all the info right. 5670560 and pound 560 the Verizon Singular Wireless line. Mars bars do not have coconut. Trust me.
All right, I want a second opinion.
I know my candy, mister. You're going to send me what? A Mars bar?
No, I said I want a second opinion.
No. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You too, George. How you doing today?
Yo.
You know, a few weeks ago, I was flipping the channels on my TV, and I came across Benny Hinn. And
I'm sorry.
And
yeah.
my wife was sitting
Must
there
have been
watching.
your lucky day.
Yeah, my wife was sitting there, and I left it on, and after about 5 minutes, she turned to me and said, "Is this a joke?" And I said, "No, they're dead serious."
Yeah, it's a big tax-free joke is what it is.
And she couldn't believe it. I said, this is what's running the country now.
No, that's what's wrong with the world, and it's been that way ever since the beginning of time. That's the world for you.
And I love it. Do you ever see it when he brings the people out and he touches them and they fall
down? Of course,
down?
and they all fall right to the floor. Yeah, of course.
And it's oh well, I just wanted to throw that in.
Well, thank God you've been healed, my son. God bless. I'll pray for you.
Is George there?
He's there.
No, I left.
George, I liked V for Vendetta. I thought it was great.
Okay.
Had a few plot holes in it, but I enjoyed it.
Ain't no Zorro, though, I'll tell you that.
A big giant hole in the middle of it.
Have a good day, guys.
See you, Pally. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Benny Hinn, you ain't lived until you seen Benny Hinn. In fact, I'd rather see Benny Hinn than go to Benny Hanna and have him throw some of them knives at me, like going to OJ's house. 567. That will be interesting, won't it, to see whether the least popular athlete would be... I don't think Barry Bonds even give OJ a run for the money. Do you, George?
No.
Not even close.
OJ will be triple digits and no one else will be.
Not even close. OJ by himself will have like 2,500
Matter of
votes.
fact, if you really want to be scientific, you should just leave OJ out of there. Because
No,
you know he's going to win.
No. No, see, what you want to do is make Barry Bonds a winner, so just
Me?
so Josh can say, see, yeah, you.
I don't even know who the hell that is.
You would know Barry Bonds from Gary U.S. Bonds, okay?
Or James Bonds.
Right. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil.
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
How you doing?
Listen, I got a Pharrell Sky report.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you still hanging out with him? I mean, friendly with him and stuff?
Yeah,
I never hung out
party.
with him. I'm not going to be hanging
their
out with him,
bags.
but what about him?
No, I listen to Howard in the morning, and then when he's off, I listen to you guys, and he was on there this morning. Talking all his Pokemices.
Yeah.
But
did he mention again how he was #1 when he was in Miami? Did he lie about his ratings again, like he always does?
You know, it's funny. He didn't say a word about Miami. He said, "Oh man, was he on the West Coast somewhere? I don't remember what city he was in, but he was
in Atlanta.
Atlanta. But other than that, he was in other places. I think he said.
Yeah, he changes. He moves around a lot.
It seems that way. But I mean, now that they can kind of say whatever they want over there, it's kind of funny, I guess.
Yeah.
That's it,
Okay, thanks. It was kind of funny. He guesses. In other words, he's trying to sound like he's trying to talk himself into it.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hi, Neil. How you doing?
Great.
Mounds is the one that has coconut.
What is
Not
it?
Mars. Mounds Bar.
Oh, Mounds. Right, Mounds. That's what we're thinking of. It's Almond Joy and Mounds. That's George has got it confused.
You're
Thank
right.
you so much.
You're right. That's it.
And you would think of all the people who would know his Mounds, George would be the guy.
Right.
But you don't.
And of all the people that should know their nuts, coconut
right,
or otherwise.
I do.
Right,
well, Mounds has got both. It's got coconut and nuts, so it's got something for everybody.
Or cocoa nuts. He's right.
Mounds is okay. I'm not.
I don't like shredded coconut, but yeah.
I'll stick. If I'm going to eat candy bars, I still say Score. Score and Heath Bar.
Heath Bar Crunch. You bet.
That Heath Bar Crunch ice cream, man, at Breyers. Oh, don't get me started with this crap. I've been doing so well. And you're the one that always is the instigator. You're, just like my grandmother, pushing with one hand and pulling back with the other.
Yeah,
pushing it. Here, ass now, pushing all the food. Oh, you're so fat. Yeah. Same with you. Always bemoaning about how your fat friends, everybody who's fat dies, which is true.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, always
I didn't bring this up.
The hell you didn't. You're the one that said Mars is out of this world or something like that.
Yeah.
Weren't you the one?
You're the one that brought up Baby Ruth, and that got into
Peter,
candy
Paul,
bars.
and Mary,
Nothing to do with
Peter,
it.
Paul, Almond Joy.
You're like all the other fat people want to blame somebody else.
It's your fault.
That's right.
WQAM, hello.
Good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
What the guy was trying to tell you about Scott was that he landed a permanent gig with Howard now. He'll be on Monday through Friday, something like 8 to 11. And that's like his other channel, something like that. But he did talk about Miami. He said this was the shortest stint in radio. It's about 6 to 8 months, and then he got fined like 3 times.
First of all, he got fined once. Secondly, he was here for 4 months. He wasn't here for 8 or 11 months.
Right. Well, he said 6 to 8, something like that.
No.
He said this was the shortest time he was ever on radio.
Not true. His
So,
gig in Atlanta, on
was,
that first station in Atlanta, was like a matter of weeks, and they changed
right,
format.
That's what I thought, because I listen to you all the time. And
The man is a compulsive liar, okay? I don't give a damn what he says. He's a compulsive liar.
And then there's one more thing, Neil, about the Benny Hinn thing that the guy was talking about. There's a book, I forgot what the name of the book is, but some guy was involved in his cult, quote-unquote, and he says that guy is a money-loving, greedy SOB. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all he cares about.
Of course.
That's all he cares about, and you can tell in his diamonds and his rings and his bracelets and the Rolex watches. And
Well, that's why he's always smiling, though, because he's, business is good.
Exactly, and I have a request. Anything from Paul Harvey, Neil.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
See us. Pharrell, I mean, it's not, again, not personal. I don't even know him that well. I mean, he's one of those people you couldn't get him to stand still long enough to have an intelligent conversation or even a stupid conversation. I mean, he was exactly the same off the air as he is on the air. No difference. And the thing that really gets me is like the Beast. Who's the other one? They go up when he was in Atlanta. Well, the Beast was in Atlanta for some ball game and stopped by and hung out with Pharrell. Well, what's that all about? Wasn't Pharrell the one that was always talking about how he wanted him off his show, and he was the one that, just like with Mo, it was the same thing. Every problem he had, every failure was because of the Beast and get him out. Wasn't that? Am I just dreaming that?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
Wouldn't have anything to do with drugs, would it? Oh, here's one that says Mars bars do not have shredded core. Well, we got that straightened out. It's mounds.
Right.
It's mounds, baby. Big heaving mounds. On that note, how about a future poll for what your all-time favorite candy bars?
Yeah, I'll call Stan Major.
We've done. Yeah. Now there is something, okay? See, Tom, little Tommy, it's not just that polls are boring. It all depends on what they're all about. But when a guy goes on the air and says, anybody got a new watch? Anybody buy an interesting watch? Or how about that Milky Way dark, huh? Let's talk about that for 3 hours.
This is
Stan
Neil Rogers.
God,
This
talk about
is
coma-inducing.
QAM.
Excuse me, but I do believe that's just egg.
Good morning, Americans. It's Paul Harvey. Stand by for news. Bill and his wife Buffy were sitting in church. Bill sleeping, Buffy knitting. The priest asked who created the earth and man. Buffy poked Bill with her knitting needle, and Bill screams, God! The priest looked at him and said, that's right. Then he asked, who is God's son? Once more, Buffy poked her husband, Bill, with her needle. He screamed, Jesus! Again, the priest said, correct. Finally, the priest asked, what did Eve say to Adam when she didn't want any more children? Well, Buffy poked her husband, Bill, again, but this time he screamed, poke me with that thing one more time, and I'm going to rip it off. The priest said, that's right, Paul Harvey.
Good day.
Good day.
11:45. Boy, it's a good thing we don't hear from him much anymore, you know, or you'd probably be committing sausages. Paul Harvey Jr.
Are you kidding? He fell to the middle of the pack with this crowd we have.
Yeah, that's right. He's one of our better callers. Hey, little Tommy, there's a...
That's not an invitation, though. That's not an invitation.
He'll be on there. ACLU AIDS pastor caught in gay sex sting.
Yeah.
Oh, this must be a mistake. More propaganda. The American Civil Liberties Union is championing the cause of a Southern Baptist minister arrested in Oklahoma City for inviting a male undercover officer to join him in his hotel room for oral sex. Maybe he was going to go to Oral Roberts University.
That could be.
The Reverend Luke Latham, 60, was charged with a single misdemeanor count of lewdness last month after propositioning an officer in a hotel parking lot. Latham had been a public opponent of same-sex marriage and urged gay men and lesbians to change their sexual orientation with the help of Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. Although Latham has pleaded not guilty, insisting that he was attempting to minister to the undercover policeman, he was just going to minister to him. He was going to give him an oral presentation.
He was going to administer.
He also filed a motion last week to dismiss the case based on constitutional arguments. And a separate friend of the court brief filed the same day. The ACLU argued that Oklahoma's lewdness statute is overly broad and conflicts with the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling striking sodomy laws in Florence versus Texas. In that case, the High Court extended the right to privacy to encompass private, consensual, and non-commercial adult sex, including homosexual sex. The Oklahoma lewdness statute, in turn, outlaws the giving or receiving of the body for indiscriminate sexual intercourse, fellatio cunnilingus, masturbation, anal intercourse, or lascivious, lustful, or licentious conduct with any person not his or her spouse.
Good God, what a catalog.
Sure is, it covers a lot. So there you go. Goes to show you, all you closet queens out there, all you closet pastors, especially you Southern Baptists, don't be going and peddling or buying wares in Oklahoma. Here comes Pharmahite 9/11. Controversial filmmaker Michael Moore is targeting the drug companies. Send me your health care stories, reads the appeal. The stark request heads a letter from Michael Moore, the controversial filmmaker, published on his website last month, which asks for real-life examples of people's bad experiences of hospitals, insurance companies, and drug makers. Sounds to me like kind of a remake of Hospital with George C. Scott.
Yeah, except this one ain't going to be a drama.
No.
It's going to be a tragedy.
Right. Well, and the medical care in America is a tragedy. Renowned for his documentary Fahrenheit 9/11, which he took on the Bush administration over the war in Iraq, Moore's latest target is the healthcare industry, and long overdue. Work on the film, which is called Sicko, has been in progress since 2004, and it's finally expected to be premiered later this year, but already speculation about its content has put the industry on the offensive. They're pretty offensive, all right, because most of you doctors are butchers. Well, let me give you an educated guess. You couldn't diagnose a hangnail. If executives at healthcare companies worry they might come off badly in the film, Moore's letter leaves little doubt. Have you ever found yourself getting ready to file for bankruptcy because you can't pay your kid's hospital bill, and then you say to yourself, boy, I sure would like to be in Michael Moore's healthcare movie? Moore says he'll read every letter if you've been abused in any way by this sick, greedy, grubby system, and it's caused you or your loved ones great sorrow and pain. Let me know, he says. Executives in the U.S. admit the forthcoming film is a cause for concern, but most are resigned to the fact that Moore is unlikely to take a balanced approach. Oh, geez. The film is a concern, but Michael Moore has very little credibility with mainstream Americans, says Ken Johnson, the senior vice president of the trade group Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America. For every horror story Michael Moore produces, we can produce 1,000 success stories, but he's not interested in them. Nevertheless, however, it's just not Moore who's on the attack. Other films, such as The Constant Gardener, oh, what a piece of garbage, based on the novel by Jean Le Carré about the corruption industry in Africa, which won Britain's Rachel Weisz an Oscar as Best Supporting Actress last month, and the book Hard Sell, The Evolution of a Viagra Salesman by a former Pfizer employee, have only added to the industry's woes. Woe is me. Melvin's Woe with Joe Marsh Jr. Actual drug scandals, such as the withdrawal by Merck of Vioxx, its pain reliever 2 years ago, after concerns about side effects and which has triggered widespread litigation against the company, haven't helped the industry's relations with the public. Most executives, I'm starting to think that Troy Stratford's on the payroll across the street. Just dawned on me in the middle of this story. Most executives privately admit that industry still has problems communicating what it does and that it's not just plain greedy. According to Johnson, unrelated to Moore's film, the industry itself has become more aggressive in responding to criticism and, of course, in buying all those spots on the evening news every night between 6:30 and 7. One after the other. You notice that?
I did.
Every single night. Just one after the other. Ask your doctor about Levitra. Ask your doctor about Crestor. On and on. Among other things, the association assigned Montel Williams, an Emmy Award-winning syndicated talk host to promote awareness of existing drug assistance programs. The efforts have paid off. According to Johnson, in the past 6 months, the industry has improved its favorability rating from 45 to 54%. They just turned the numbers around, that's all. Companies have also become more proactive. GlaxoSmithKline, Europe's biggest drug producer, for example, has launched a Value of Medicine campaign under which its sales representatives are encouraged to promote positive aspects of the industry, like not everybody's dead yet. A spokesman says the thinking behind the campaign was put in place before the reform of the Medicare system, the state-run system which provides coverage for the elderly, which took effect this year. GlaxoSmithKline has also launched a new ad campaign in the U.S. Catchlines such as, "It's easier to put someone on the moon than to develop a drug," and "Today's medicines finance tomorrow's miracles," are designed to promote awareness of the work drug companies do. Right. And all the money that they're paying, the detail men are paying to the doctors so they can poison you and kill you at an early age. All of these things. Can't wait for Sicko. Although I think we hear from them every day, don't we? 879 votes on the poll. We got a little battle here to get to 1,000, don't we? Not really. Who is the greatest baseball player of all time? Babe Ruth, 178. I hate baseball, 144. Willie Mays, 114. What kind of pansies hate baseball? I mean, I hate baseball now, or I wouldn't say I hate it, but I just have no interest in it now. But, I mean, what kind of a person, like, over the age of, other than George, who's just a hard-ass?
I don't hate baseball, and I didn't vote for that.
There you go. You wouldn't vote for that.
I was a fine player in my day.
Well, there you go. What's to hate? As kids growing up, most of us liked baseball, and then, of course, we got sour on it because of the money and the greed and the watering down and because of all the expansion.
Or you realize it's boring to watch other people play games.
I mean, who wants to see the Paducah Pirates, right? Willie Mays, 114. In fact, who wants to see the Pittsburgh Pirates? Obviously not too many. I hate this pool, 90. Ted Williams, 75. The Splendid Spitter. Hank Aaron, 62. Mickey Mendel, 43. Pete Rose, 40. Barry Bonds, still in Pete's wake. Barry Bonds, 36. In fact, he's much closer to the bottom than he is near the top. Joe DiMaggio, 33. It's the battle between Barry and the Joltin' Joe. Lou Gehrig, 22. Ty Cobb, 22. And Roberto Clemente, solamente 20. Only 20. These people they have no passion, That's the problem. How many times have I said that? Just this hour.
About 30, man.
South Florida, the place with no passion, a town without pity, like Gene Pitney would say. Oh, we're not going to hear that, are we? Please. I like Gene Pitney a lot, though. 5670560, pound 5. I think you just played it last week. Don't knock yourself out.
I did.
How about 24 hours to Tulsa? WQAM, hello.
I don't have it.
It hurts to be in love? Yes, sir.
A Mars bar is exactly like a Snickers bar, except it's got sharp, jagged pieces of almond instead of peanuts. And they're awful.
No.
Yes.
It's not just like a Snickers bar. Snickers bar is loaded with caramel. Mars bar is loaded with caramel.
I think it's got a little caramel in. Not a good candy bar, though.
Nougat. No, you're right. No, just screw the Mars bar. Although I will tell you this, the Mars ice cream bar is pretty good.
Yeah, that is good. Actually, any of those ice cream bars are better than the actual ice cream, the actual candy bar.
However, that having been said, the ice creams itself, the candy ice cream, they suck.
Oh, really? Well, I don't have the knowledge on that kind of thing as you do, Neil.
Well, believe you, don't get it either. Okay, good luck. No, they really do. They suck. See, he's trying to a little cute, clever little shot. No, they're awful. And the fact of the matter is that Breyers makes most of them, and they're still bad. Now, how can Breyers make bad ice cream? Isn't it Breyers that makes those?
I don't know.
Like Mars bar ice cream and Snickers. Oh, they suck.
You're going to accuse me of doing this, and you brought it up again.
No, I'm not. This is having no impact on my appetite for any of this stuff, and especially the candy ice creams. They're all garbage. M&M ice cream. Have you ever had that?
No.
Oh, after you eat that, you want to have an M&M enema. They are a blue boysenberry enema. Horrible. Oh, look at this. Work stoppages over immigration. More protesters, but it'd be too bad. All you illegal aliens, go back where you came from, okay? We're going to put you on a banana barge. Oh, there's nothing like a nice banana barge at the Dairy Queen. See, that guy got me started. Now, what? You ever have a banana barge?
No, but I'm aware of it.
Yeah, banana barges for those people who are such pigs that even a banana split isn't big enough for them, so they have to call it a banana barge. That's for real porkers out there,
If I must go to Dairy Queen.
They want to have a banana split in a bathtub. Which is what it's for. Oh, look at this. Here's an ad fax. Employment insurance premium refunds. Oh, geez. Well, what is going on with this world, you know? Next thing you know, your neighbors are going to be leaving you religious tracts on your front doorstep, on your stoop. Stooping, the operative word. Don't you people over there understand? There are no Jesus Christers in my house, okay? They're not welcome in my house.
Don't you understand nothing is more important than saving your heathen soul?
Oh, God. I can just imagine.
Imagine what?
Because, Well, because somebody's family was over there visiting for 12 long, excruciating days and just got their ass out of there today. And so the neighbor across the street came over and evidently had a chat with the family while somebody was out. Yeah. Which I guess resulted in those religious tracts being left there. The family, the fanatical Catholic family.
Oh, boy.
Which I once told the mother the reason that there is a shortage of priests in Ithaca is because there's a shortage of altar boys.
It's funny because it's true.
It was a great line. And you're right, it probably is true. At any rate, 891 votes on the poll. Who is the greatest baseball player of all time? I just did this, didn't I? Yeah, I just did it. We don't want to overdo it because then Tom Jick will write a whole column about it. Oh, see, here's the thing, Tom. You hate the show now. You don't like it. You don't like my reading the bedtime stories on the air. You can't stand the fact we take better polls than your rotten-ass newspaper does. You can't handle that. But you don't have the balls to write about it. Why not? And here's the guy who said, oh, well, Neil's going to have a tough time keeping in touch with local. This man wouldn't know local from his ass. You don't write about local. I'm not the one that's out of touch. You're out of touch. So guess what, Tom? Touch this.
This is Neil Rogers.
Rectum.
This is 560 QAM.
This is Mark Morgan. It's the 12 to 1 hour on QAM.
It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, and I'm gonna watch HBO. I'm so tired of desperate housewives. Where did Tony and Carmela go? I have had to wait nearly 2 whole years to see Junior, AJ, and Meadow. I'm sick of getting screwed when I turn on the tube and they're playing that dumb Deadwood show.
Cube.
Goomba, goomba, da da da. Goomba, da da da. I've waited too long for the Sopranos, man. It's time we got on with this thing. I want to see Polly and Silvio in the back room of the Bada Bing. It's been so long since the last episode. There's so many things I forgot. Is Christopher on smack? 'Cause Adriana got whacked. And does Tony still sail the Stugat? So I pick up the latest TV guide, and that's when I start feeling fine. Thank God HBO's bringing back the Dacos each and every Sunday at 9. It's about friggin' time, ain't it?
Yeah, it's about friggin' time. 12:02 at the Stugatz Radio. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's cross street. Does he still sail the Stugatz? Oh, good God. Thank God I never got out of that show. You have no idea how many people ask me, oh, do you watch that Sopranos? No.
Yeah.
And based on what you're saying, I'm probably not missing much right now either.
Not at the point. Although it picked up a
How
little
about the
last night,
financial
but there's no point.
papers? Anybody got the financial papers?
Huh?
That's all those Tom Pettingill bits. It's all the same crap.
Yeah.
Probably all him. 907 votes on the poll, and the most interesting thing to me, look at that, like I told you, it's Barry Bonds and Joltin' Joe, the Yankee Clipper. They're nose to nose. Well, if somebody wins by a nose, I think it'll be the Yankee Clipper wins that battle. Know what I'm saying, Josh?
Yeah.
Boy, was he ugly or what? Man, he wasn't just regular ugly. He had a nose like a rhinoceros, Joe D.
Yes, he did.
He was grotesque.
Quite the schnoz.
But he was married to Marilyn Monroe.
Yes, he was.
And a lot of ugly guys, too, like Arthur Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Who else was she married to? Only ugly guys.
Right.
She was never even married to anybody that looked like human or
She
like...
was not particular.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's what Bobby Kennedy said.
That's right.
12:03 at 560 WQAM. A top advisor to former House Whip Tom DeLay received more than a third of all the money collected by the U.S. Family Network, a nonprofit organization the advisor created to promote a pro-family political agenda in Congress, according to the group's accounting records. Oh, God, they're stealing in broad daylight, man. Even the biggest Brinks robbery of all time never came close to what's going on now, and the public is like that. Public's watching the Soprano reruns. DeLay's former chief of staff, Edwin Buckham, who helped create the group while still in DeLay's employ, and his wife, Wendy, were the principal beneficiaries of the group's $3.02 million in revenue, collecting payments totaling over $1 million during a 5-year period ending in 2001. The group's revenue was drawn mostly from clients of Republican lobbyist Jack Abramoff, according to its records. From an FBI subpoena for the records, it can be inferred that the Bureau was exploring whether there were links between the payments and favorable legislative treatment of Abramoff's clients by DeLay's orifice. Oh, brother. That's all. They're just making it up, right? Just a Tommy Pinko plot. 2 more of Catherine Harris's top employees quit. Oh! Boy, she's got real tourists. I hope she just flushes. She ought to take that $10 million she inherited and just flush it down the toilet or give it to us. We could have a hell of a good time with it, guaranteed.
That's right. Party.
Representative Catherine Harris lost 2 more top staff members this week, one from her campaign orifice and one from her congressional orifice. It's time for me to move on, said Leah Pitts, the deputy campaign and finance director of operations for Harris. Pitts is the 4th member of Harris's finance team to leave the staff in the past 3 months. Leah Pitts. I wonder if she's kin to Elijah Pitts. The departures come as Harris tries to rejuvenate her U.S. Senate campaign, which has suffered from slow fundraising, bad poll numbers, and controversy over illegal campaign contributions. Since December, the longboat key Republican has lost 2 finance directors and a campaign treasurer. Months earlier, her campaign manager quit, and 2 pollsters also vamoosed with the Moosey man. Her congressional office lost its 2nd employee in as many weeks. Deputy Chief of Staff Peggy Evans quit last Thursday, a week after Press Secretary Kara Borey left after 7 months on the job. Staff turnover has been a problem for her since she was elected to Congress in 2002. And we still want to know if they still make Clark bars. We've already been through this, haven't we? Didn't you Google Clark bars? They still make them, right?
They do.
You just don't see them anywhere. Thank God.
That's right.
You like Clark bar?
I can't remember the last time I had one, or the first time for that matter.
A yellow wrapper.
I'm sure I have. Right.
Yellow
I know
wrapper.
what they look like. They got
Josh,
peanuts
you ever
in
had
them?
a Clark bar?
Do they have peanuts?
No, I don't think so.
No, they have no peanuts. You know, between you with your damn...
I told you I couldn't remember.
Oh, my God, with your coconut in a Mars bar and peanuts in a Clark bar, man.
Look, you know what you like.
You better get your nuts straightened out, mister.
They're straight. Trust me. As an arrow.
Man, you better get your nuts in your...
they're in a ringer,
coconut
but
straightened
straight,
out.
yeah.
Your coconut straightened out. I think you got a problem in your coconut.
Well, sometimes you feel like a nut.
Clark bar, did you Google it? I'm sure they still make it.
They still make it.
Well, let's get a bunch.
No.
Now, just to prove that I'm not here to try to be a PR man for the Canadian government or the Canadian people, I would tell you most of the people here around me are civilized, or at least seem to be, but, just to prove that Canadians can be just as barbaric as anybody else, the annual seal hunt is going on now, eh? Sick. Really, really sick. And, boy, you should see some of these, these newfies, some of these strange people, including some of these frogs that are busy up there hunting the baby seals. Up to 325,000 young harp seal pups could be killed in the coming weeks. Celebrities such as former Beatle Sir Paul McCartney and his wife have joined animal rights groups in condemning the cull as barbaric and unnecessary. And even though you don't like him, you hate him like poison, probably the people are involved too. Prime Minister the unctuous Stephen Harper said Canada was victim of an international propaganda campaign and insisted the cull would be carried out humanely. Right. Wouldn't you like to get, if you were going to choose a way of dying, wouldn't you like being clubbed to death? Isn't that a good way to do it?
That or a machete.
The cull, he's starting with that OJ crap again. The cull, which reportedly earns $16.5 million in meat and pelt sales, is an important source of income for fishing communities in Quebec and Newfoundland that have been hit hard by dwindling fish stocks in the Atlantic. The hunt is an annual harvest that's based on economics. It is harvesting animals on a sustainable basis, Roger Simone of the Department of Fisheries and Oceans told the BBC. The Canadian government says the cull is also necessary to control seal numbers, saying the seal population is now almost 6 million, nearly triple the level of the 70s. Well, how come they don't do that in China? Huh?
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Clubs. It recently increased the total allowable catch by 5,000 to 325,000 poor widow baby seals. The first stage of the cull has begun in the Gulf of St. Lawrence region in Quebec. I say let's club the frogs to death. Does that sound like a good idea to me? Those French Canadians.
I think we should
guarantee
call Pepper.
if we could take a vote in South Florida, it'd be unanimous. Some 90,000 seal pups in the area are expected to be killed before the hunt moves on to Newfoundland, where thousands more will be culled. Oh, it's such a... See, killed, culled, see how it sounds the same, but culled is so much more antiseptic sounding. Culled.
That's right.
Oh, coochie, coochie, coo, let's cull you. But if we say we're going to kill you, everybody runs like a bastard. On the first day, sealers and protesters came face-to-face, sparking confrontations. At one point, a sealer flung the carcass of a skinned seal at an inflatable craft carrying protesters and urinalists. They threw carcasses at our Zodiac and they came rushing at us in their boat and tried to capsize us in the wake, said Rebecca Aldworth of the Humane Society of the United States. This is standard behavior out here. The sealers feel that they're completely above the law. That's behavior spelled I-O-U-R, of course. But the sealers say they're misunderstood. Right. They're killing them lightly. Mark Small, president of the Northeast Coast Sailors Corporation, has been sealing in Newfoundland waters for about 40 years. I think the Canadian public realizes these are coastal people, barbarians, who live off the sea and depend on the hunt to survive in small communities where the fish stocks aren't there. Coastal communities have to live, too. Well, I have one question about that. Coastal communities have to live?
Why?
Yeah, why's that? Screw you. Anyway, Paul McCartney says we're absolutely committed to making sure that this is the last slaughter of baby seals in Canada anyone will ever have to witness, he said. Well, just don't look. He urges Canada to consider a win-win plan to end the hunt while compensating fishermen for lost revenue. Celebrity campaigner Brigitte Bardot also asked the Canadian government to halt the cull earlier this week. The cull. Canada is a rich country. It doesn't need to sell skin, oil, fat, and powdered seal penises to make aphrodisiacs for countries in Asia. You can't continue a genocide of animals like this, the 71-year-old actress said, who used to look good a long time ago. But Mr. Harper, who refused to request to meet with Bardot, dismissed the suggestion because she's old and saggy. We don't harvest the pups, he said, referring to an 87 ban of killing newborn seals in white coats, with white coats pictured in many anti-hunt posters. Unfortunately, we're to some degree the victim of a bit of an international propaganda campaign, he said. We believe the country's acting responsibly. We'll make sure all rules are enforced. You butcher, you murderer. That's another thing he's got in common with George Bush, Stephen Harper. Another butcher with blood on his hands. Only in his case, it's baby seal blood, and in George Bush's case, it's human blood. Man, even Freddie never had as much blood on his head. Even Jason.
Mother.
Nice hockey mask, though. Never had that much blood. Even the guy from When a Stranger Calls. I don't know what his name was.
He's in the house. 930
votes on the poll. The greatest baseball player of all time, Babe Ruth, 193. A rose into Babe Ruth. I can't believe you never heard that record.
No,
it's weak.
I might have heard it.
It's not your kind of music at all. It's not by some Getchke.
That's right.
Some singing Getchke with a big hat and a long beard.
Good.
The rockin' Getchke, was he good?
He was very good, as a matter of fact.
Really? I saw that clip this morning. It didn't look like
I'm
my kind of music.
I'm not into reggae, really, at all, but this is very good music.
I'm only in the gay part.
That's what I heard. I'll take
What's
the
this fax you just sent me here? It says, I saw your poll, although I'm a lifelong Yankee fan. The only right answer is Ted Williams, the splendid spitter. And like I said last week, I have so much more respect for him now when I read those stories about how he used to spend his spare time shooting pigeons in Fenway Park with a BB gun. Nothing more annoying than a pigeon. Plus he might have saved us from the bird flu. You realize that?
That's too bad.
He had a good head on his shoulders. He missed 5.5 prime seasons due to WW2 in Korea. He volunteered. He didn't have to go back. If not for that, add 200-plus home runs to his 530-something, and he's the all-time leader. He retired in 1962 after hitting 325 lifetime in home runs and maybe everything else it says. By the way, Babe Ruth, according to his official biography, was a catcher until, well, we didn't want to get personal. Until sometime the equivalent of high school. He grew up in an orphanage for boys who couldn't be controlled by his parents, so he also played that position. So Josh is right. He was a catcher, first base, pitcher, and right fielder. Yeah, how many positions Barry Bonds play except bending over in the locker room for the steroid shot in his ass, huh? How many positions he play? Josh. What is he doing?
Oh, my God.
He's trying to come up with a good answer.
Well, how many?
I'm done with coming up answers here.
Solomon. Well, why is... Oh, in other words, you just decided that's the end of the quiz. So that's the end of the...
There's no quiz. Look.
Because you don't have any answers. That's why.
I have my opinion, okay? It's going against yours.
Your opinion
I
is
think Babe Ruth played... Babe Ruth was definitely ahead of his time,
35 other
okay?
schmucks on here will agree with you that Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player. But it's laughable. On the face of it, it's laughable. It would be like saying that Mario Mendoza was the greatest baseball player.
Yes, you know what?
It's just silly.
No, it's not silly.
It's silly. It would be like saying Mark McGwire was the greatest baseball player of all time.
No, it's not even close to saying
Or Sammy Sosa.
You didn't hear the stat that I gave you
Miami.
on Friday.
I keep getting him confused with, what's his name?
500.
Who's the one that did I Love You Miami? That was...
That's Levon Hernandez.
Levon. Even Elton John did a song about him.
You know, he walked almost 1,000 times more than Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
And he still is doing what he's doing.
Well, that's because
hold on. That means they don't pitch to him, and he still does
Lou Gehrig. That was the whole thing with Babe Ruth. That's the idea, okay? That's when he had a great team. Bob Musial and Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. My God, you're comparing the freaking Giants. Where's the Giants dynasty, okay? Where's the great Barry Bonds era, the great dynasty, huh?
It's not his fault that he plays on a bad
crap team. Well, that's why they can pitch around him. That's why he gets all those walks.
But he still does what he does
Just like
when they don't pitch to him. That's
Roger
what makes him
Maris
so
was
amazing.
there on the Yankees, okay? Are they going to walk Mickey Mantle to get to Roger Maris or the other way around? Are they going to do that? They're going to walk Roger Maris to get to Mickey Mantle? I don't think so. They might walk Norm Seaburn. They might walk him to get to Jerry Lumpy or Bob Serve. Well, I feel like I'm on some kind of wild drugs. I don't know what they are, but they sure. Maybe it's that pasta.
It's nice to share.
Maybe they hid some kind of hallucinogen in there. 1214 at QM. Maybe it's the Joe Bell factor. Wow, he has really turned out to be. Hey, if you're starving right now, listen, Duff wants you to go to John the Baker. Duff begs you, please, go to John the Baker. There are a whole bunch of reasons you ought to be going there. They got 2 locations for you. They're on Pines Boulevard in the Home Depot Center, just west of Flamingo. And the brand new John the Baker is in the Sterling Town Center, Sterling and Pine Island Road in Cooper City. All your Italian favorites, man. All those goodies that you love, like veal parmesan, chicken parmesan, sausage and peppers, baked ziti, lasagna, spaghetti meatballs, and some of the best garlic rolls you ever had, just dripping with garlic, juicy and delicious, as big as Kimbo Camper, as big as Barry Bond's ass. And don't forget, when you go to John the Baker with any meal that you purchase, mention Neil Rogers Show, get a half a dozen of John's world-famous garlic rolls absolutely free. In fact, Chris Jones, our sales manager, begs you to do it. He's pleading with you, please go in there and mention Chris Jones. He's jonesing for it. And as far as the pizza is concerned, it's as good as any you'll find anywhere in South Florida. You can bring the whole family, too, because the prices are low enough, always reasonable, and they give you big, gigantic portions you can share if you're really a cheapskate. For a takeout, call John the Baker in Pembroke Pines at 954-431-4315. Or in Cooper City, call 954-252-0091. Be sure and tell them that Fluff Lindsay sent you by. John the Baker, always big portions, always the best Italian food. It gets no better in South Florida than John the Baker.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
God. And now, a gentle reminder about daylight savings time.
Sunday is daylight savings time. Big excitement. Moving the hands of your clock ahead 1 hour. Unless it's a digital clock and then you just have to press some button. Either way, the big day is Sunday. Daylight savings time. Sunday at 2 a.m. But you don't have to stay up until 2 a.m. to set those clocks ahead. No. Do it before you go to sleep on Saturday. Right. That's what most people do anyway. But either way, you're losing an hour. It's a big lost hour. The most exciting day of the year. And it's all happening on Sunday. Sunday.
Yeah, this Sunday, by the way, when you go to bed, be sure and set your alarm for 2 o'clock in the morning and then wake up at 2 and then set it ahead.
Okay.
Well, there are people, I don't have to tell you, there are people stupid enough, they do that.
Oh, I know.
Well, I say you got to say Y2K.
Break your clocks.
Or clean your clock. 962 votes. Now, I need some help. Probably Josh will be more helpful on this. Let's see. I hate this poll. I'm doing this poll tomorrow.
Okay.
What all-time athlete do you dislike the most? Let's see. I hate sports, and I hate this poll.
We hate. No matter what you do, we hate it.
Man, what a bunch of sour pie. I got O.J. Simpson, Pete Rose, and Barry Bonds. What other athletes would people have reason to hate? Not easy, is it? Huh?
I mean, we can go a couple different routes here. I would go the religion route, like anybody that goes.
Okay, that's
like
good.
a Kurt Warner, because
Kurt
he
Warner,
couldn't stop
right?
thanking Jesus.
Why would you hate Kurt Warner? He's just he's small
okay,
potatoes.
Do you remember when he won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, okay, I'll put him on there, but
him
I don't
and
think
his wife,
he's votes.
it's like
obnoxious, yeah.
I mean, I don't really, it's not like I hate these people. Like I
well,
go home
but you don't have to
I have
hate
a voodoo
them.
doll or something, but
Go ahead.
Just we can go the drug route, like a.
How about? Wait a minute. How about what's his name? Mark McGuire.
What about it?
Okay, I don't.
Because he lied through his teeth to Congress. There, he's a phony.
Rafael
How about
Palmeiro.
Speaking of lying, how about Jose Canseco, huh?
Canseco, that's a good one.
He's not only a liar with that book, but he's also a slimeball. Him and his brother, the both of them, every 5 minutes they're in jail.
Mm-hmm.
This is true, yeah.
See, Rafael Palmeiro will put him on there, even though he's, only Rosanna Dana cares about him. Oh, he's a Cuban boy from Miami. Yeah, who cares, okay? A lot of Cuban boys from Miami, and he don't even look good. There you go. We'll get some more on there. And, of course, with our audience, they hate just about everybody anyhow. How about a hockey player they hate? Oh, I know. Let's put on Wayne Gretzky.
Right.
Wayne Gretzky, needle nose. Oh, especially now with all that gambling crap. God, do I hate him. In fact, I just spelled his name wrong on here. I'm so pissed off.
Did you write
Wayne
Gretzky?
Huh?
Did you write Gretzky? Is that what you wrote?
No, I wrote S-H.
Gretzky?
Yeah, Gretzky, just like that. Gretzky. Makes me puke. So anyway, if you tuned in late, you missed George's Green Apple Quick Step this morning.
Wow.
It took him an hour and a half to go and do his number 2.
But I won.
No, 2. Because the sales department had the whole tea room there
Wow.
just backed up, lined up all the way to Aliquippa. I don't understand it.
Maybe that's where they were holding their meeting.
Yeah. Wouldn't be the first time, especially Fat Boy, man. In fact, that's what they were having for lunch that one day, the QM Splatter Platter. Just absolutely unparalleled in the history of the subhuman race. What a cow. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow's poll, hands down, Kurt Schilling.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Another religious piece of crap.
Religious piece of crap. Don't go out in the sun. You'll get cancer. Catch a package in the sock a couple of years.
Yeah, he'll only pitch on cloudy days, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Or in a domed stadium.
Or night games, he's great. The rest of the time, he's not worthy. Like a
Right, that must be it. Okay, thanks, Pally.
You're welcome.
Kurt Schilling, how could we forget about him? He was also in this hearings. He didn't say too much. He sat on the end there, far away from the other guys. WQAM, hello. Not there. QAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
You can't have tomorrow's poll without having Terrell Owens
Okay.
and Ron Artest.
Ron Artest?
Yeah, the basketball player
Yeah, I
that
know
went
who he
into the
is.
stands in Detroit and started
Yeah.
the fight.
Okay.
And I think you should put Ty Domi too, just for the Canadian crowd.
I'll join that club. Okay, thanks, Pally. Yeah, that's because he's buddies with the team owner, Larry Tannenbaum. That's why Ty gets $1.5 million a year for 2 years, 2-year guaranteed contract. He's a piece of crap. Oh, okay. See, you're gonna get me started with that hockey talk now. See, I live in a different world. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm not saying that hockey talk is where.
That he would like to have back. So yeah, there's some concerns there.
Yeah, Martin Brodeur, the Mats, had a good shot, but that's...
Man, Ty Dummy. You think he's going to get a lot of votes in this crowd? No, not the least. 5, 6, 7. Now they're lighting up because it's a negatory. Well, how come Neil is so negative? Because he's worked in South Florida for 30 years, you idiot. 30th anniversary is not the reason to get your name in the newspaper.
That's right.
What a great line that is.
50s when you...
Yeah, 50 years. Okay, I'll tell you what, Tom. I'll stick around for 50 years on the air. How's that? Oh, not on this thing. We're done. WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes.
How you doing, sir?
Good.
Got one for the poll tomorrow?
Who?
Got one for the poll tomorrow?
Oh, okay.
Any players who are Haitian?
No. See, he's another one. He's in the same category with the other ones that don't get on the air.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, he needs to be hazed. We're gonna put him through a good hazing. WQAM, hello.
It'd be amazing.
Hello?
QAM.
Neil.
Yes.
Hey, got a one for your poll tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if somebody called it in or not. Mike Tyson?
Mike? How could we leave off Iron Mike?
How could
Iron Mike.
Okay, thanks, Pally.
All right, Pally.
Mike Tyson. See, we're building a nice group of jackasses here, of a-holes, right? There's so many of them, and so little time. I'm surprised there are no Dolphins on here, or ex-Dolphins, people like A.J. Touchy-Feely. So let's see, we got they got Dante's Culpeppers now, right?
Right.
What's the Ricky Williams status? Well, now he can't play, right? Even though he's appealing, he's got a Chinese chance in.
He's gonna take smoking to a whole new level now.
Yeah, he's smoking. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out where you guys are located at. I won $100 in gas, and I forgot to ask where you guys were to get my prize.
Right by 441 at Ives Dairy. Just look for the white hankies flapping outside the window.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Know that the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
Yo, what you call that stuff, man? Baba Ganoush?
Get that mess out my face.
Damn. Give it to Mikey, man. He hate everything.
Say, that's not too bad.
He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Mike Tyson's back and he's worshiping Muhammad. Allah, Allah, Mike Tyson's now he's gonna kick ass and get everything he wanted. Allah, Allah, Mike Tyson's back. It's been 3 years, has he become a wussy? Allah, Allah, Mike Tyson's back. The first thing that he did is go out and get some meow. He's gonna look to deck ya. Allah, Allah, Mike Tyson's back. Just stand east, cause he'll be west facing Mecca. Allah, Allah, Mike Tyson's back. Hey, Iron Mike, get your big hand off our asses. Allah, Allah, Mike Tyson's back. That skull cap is cute, but we won't go for your passes. Allah, Allah, Mike Tyson's back.
system.
We thought in jail that you might turn gay. Ow, ow. You'd make a real cute miss like USA. Ow. Like Tyson's back, Penny Foran contemplate.
Got a mouth like a sewer and a bad disposition. You're a bigot and racist, full of hate ammunition. Now it's down to the minors, 'cause your bitches surrendered. Well, I hate Atlanta, but this move is still pending. Oh, John Rocker, take up soccer, pack up all your gear and clean out your locker now. Oh, John Rocker, what a shocker. You're so violent, you should be a knickerbocker now. Oh, John Rocker, take up soccer, then we can take your balls and kick them all over town. You're such a minor clown. Everybody knows John Rocker's going down, down, down.
12:33 at 560 WQM. Here's one that says, for tomorrow's poll, Brian M.F. Cox, an excellent choice. And
absolutely.
It says the name slip. What?
I said absolutely.
The name slips my mind of the Atlanta Braves closer a few years ago. Could it be John Rocker shouting racial slurs on the subway? Thank you very much for reminding me about both of those. John Rocker. In fact, I bet you the guy who hates the Haitians loves John Rocker. He's probably got a blow-up doll.
I imagine.
Surprised me. Speaking of the world being crazy and religion being the poison of the universe, which it absolutely is, and make no mistake about it, always has been, always will be, hundreds of people protested in a northern Afghan city following reports that the man who faced a possible death penalty for converting to Christianity would be released, officials said. They're protesting. They're pissed off and fired up. About 700 Muslim clerics and others chanted, "Death to Bush," and other anti-Western slogans in Mazar-e-Sharif on Monday, officials told the ANP. Clerics have called for protests across Afghanistan against both the government and the West, which had pressured President Karzai's administration to drop the case against Abdul Rahman. On Sunday, a Western diplomat and Afghan officials close to Karzai told CNN that Rahman would be released soon. It better be pretty soon, because they keep saying soon, but sooner or later, something bad could happen. Other sources in the Afghan judiciary said the case against Rahman had been thrown out on technical grounds and sent back to prosecutors to gather more evidence. Those same sources said Rahman may not be released. You hear those two words? May not be released. Karzai's been under growing international pressure to find a way to free Rahman without angering Muslim clerics who have called for him to be killed. Muslim clerics. This is what we're trying. We want democracy over there, right? Oh, how are you people kidding me, okay? Evil clerics like Pat Robertson and Jerry Falball and Jimmy Swaggart and Benny Hinn and Hanna. The Afghan cabinet discussed the case Saturday, but results of that meeting aren't known yet. A government source familiar with the case said on Friday he'd be released in the coming days, but they didn't say what day, you know? In other words, maybe 20 weeks from Sukkot. In the meantime, is the food that they're feeding him halal? That's what we want to know. Halal. I still don't understand what what those Indian restaurants have got to do with halal. Maybe they're just trying to draw the ragheads. Is that it? They are ragheads. I can't keep that headgear straight, you know?
Listen, Indians are Hindus and Muslims.
Yeah.
They're, some are, most of them are Hindus.
So in other words, when I get in the cab, I should keep my mouth shut?
Or just ask.
And no, I'm not talking about that. In other words, not offer any opinions about the world situation. Probably
say,
a good idea.
Hindu say what?
Because my regular cab guy, he's Lebanese, but he's a convert. He's a Christian, Catholic.
Okay. He's
even got the Jesus-al in the from the rear.
For the most part, the Indians are Hindus.
No, they're sick.
No, that's not Hindu.
I'm not talking about Hindu. I'm talking about that curry aroma. Oh my God! You're laughing. You'd be crying. Okay, the tears would be rolling down your cheeks. I kid you not.
Like they were this morning.
Well, no, those weren't tears.
Oh, it's
well, they were for a while.
Yes, they were.
They were for a while. Oh my God! That's a bad situation, man. You probably would have been better off to go across the street to KFC, Killer Flu Chicken.
That's right.
Although God only knows what you'd pick up in there. We're approaching our 1,000 votes, by the way, just like in a horse race. They're approaching the start. Well, we're approaching the 1,000 votes. We got 9, and I think that once we get to 1,000, Josh will admit that it's a scientifically accurate 993. Wouldn't you admit that? No. Look,
sure,
you're entitled to your opinion. You don't have to be defensive about it, even though you're full of crap. Who is the greatest baseball player of all time? Babe Ruth, 204. And I think the audience enjoyed the candy bar talk more than about Baby Ruth. I hate baseball, 159. Willie Mays, 131. I hate this pool, 96. Who hit that long drive for the Giants in the for the Indians in the 54 World Series? That Willie Mays made the amazing catch. Vic Wirtz. You ever hear of Vic Wirtz, Josh?
No.
So how can you be qualified to answer this poll?
You're
what are your
talking about,
qualifications?
You act like I don't know these people.
We're going to start checking ID before we let people
Hall of Fame.
You don't know Vic Wirtz.
You're right. I don't know Vic Wirtz.
How about Mike Garcia?
From Wirtz.
Early Wynn?
No.
Tommy Wynn. How about Keenan Wynn? Ed Wynn. Ted Williams, 81. Hank Aaron, 74. Mickey Mantle, 50. Pete Rose, 45. Joe DiMaggio, the Jolton Joe, 41. Barry Bonds, 39. Roberto Clemente, 25. Todd Cobb, 25. Lou Gehrig, 23. The tight race is at the bottom out of 993. I bet you if I refresh it, we got very close to 1,000. Maybe Mo. Think we got Mo? 994. See, they're coming in. They're pouring in by the ones.
I got Mo.
Look at this Shiite leader on there. He looks just like Hamid Karzai. You notice those guys all look the same.
Arab, Kurds, Sunni, and Shiite. They adopted their case in a...
Oh, God. The Jews and the Arabs, let them duke it out and leave all the rest of us alone already. Will you please? Please. Just, don't you think that makes sense?
Yeah.
Don't you think that makes sense?
Yeah.
All the Farbistan Jews
out of it.
Like that Getchke that you went to see this weekend that you subsidized. I can't believe that.
Right? I got free tickets.
Like
I got
you
free
doing
tickets.
That. What are you trying to do?
I got free tickets.
You're trying to be welcome. Oh, you got free tickets. Well, now you're talking.
So
that was certainly the Jewish thing to do.
Guilt-free and money-free.
Now I'm beginning to understand. I see the picture. Here's one in the Sun Sentinel. You're not going to be too happy. Well, listen, only one, and that's in Palm Beach anyway. Not that we don't love our friends in Palm Beach who might be listening, all 10 of you. With hurricane season 2 months away, a panel of forecasters projects a 2-to-1 chance, this is from the Eddie K. School of Meteorology, that a Category 2 system will slam South Florida this season with the eye hitting Palm Beach County in September. Cat 2, boy, that's big time. No, it's small time. Small. The Category 2 is nothing. That's like just a little blow. Their prediction, however, wasn't derived under the strict scientific process of analyzing dozens of atmospheric indicators. Rather, it was cobbled together relying on gut feelings, spiritual inspiration, and a touch of incense. What? Incense? Oh, I see. That's because these forecasters are a loose collection of Vegas odds makers, a tarot card reader, and a psychic who normally, maybe Reverend Emma was in on this, who normally predict Oscar winners, football games, and future romances. But the South Florida Sun Sentinel also asked them to stretch their clairvoyant skills and foretell whether another rough summer is in the offing. I don't see any reason why this year would be any different than last year, said Wayne Allen Root, a Vegas gambling prognosticator who wouldn't know a weather map from his ass. Kenny White, owner of the Vegas Sports Consultants, puts the odds at 2-to-1 that another hurricane similar in strength to Wilma will hit here. Oh, God. Please, no. On the other hand, he forecasted overall slower. Saying, what kind of story is this? What kind of swill are you putting on the air about witchcraft and witch doctors? Although, now here's this one, who's this one guy? John Avello of Wynn Vegas Casino. He's accurately predicted American Idol winners and Super Bowl champions. He also projected Brokeback Mountain will win the Oscar, but of course it got crashed. He says, probability-wise, I'm saying this next year won't be quite as drastic as last year. Like I said, that guy knows his crap, right? We hope. We think he knows what he's talking about. Like people listen to Hank's picks, you know. Oh, the Humper knows his stuff. I accidentally hit the button this morning, the phone button. I was opening up my copy for all these spot. And I accidentally locked on line 1 on the air. And you remember that, punk? I wanted to talk to the Hammer. And we went like, we chuckled. We got a good chuckle on that. 1241, the Jewish Hammer to you, okay? Get with it. Hey, Beach Ford has gone mad. It's Madness in March going on right now and all this month. In other words, the rest of this week at Beach Ford. They just missed breaking the all-time record last month, so like I've been telling you, they are damn sure they're going to do it this month. Right now, extended cab Ford F-150s are as low as just $249 a month with $995 down plus fees with approved credit and a 39-month lease. Madness in March at Beach Ford means you must be mad. You got to be crazy not to take advantage of rebates and discounts up to $10,000 on all new and used vehicles. If you're not in the market for a new car but know somebody who is, send their ass into Beach Ford. Because if they take delivery this month during March, Beach Ford will send you $200 in cash just for sending them by, and that money comes from their advertising budget, so they won't tack it onto your friend's price to get it back. Don't miss out on this once-a-year event. Whatever you do, it's Beach Ford's Madness in March, and it's happening this month. Extended cab Ford F-150s are as low as $249 a month. Discounts and rebates up to $10,000 and $200 in cash just for referring a friend. So get your ass in there. You got another week to do it. Beach Ford is located 2 miles east of the Golden Glades on 163rd Street and West Dixie Highway. It's a no-drainer. You'll love your Beach Ford experience.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
All right, sports fans.
The Mad Dog is out of control, and you'll find out why when you hear the latest release from Blockbuster Entertainment. Jim Mandich sings duets.
Well, all right. Riding around in the street. Well, all right.
Hear the Mad Dog, Jim Mandich, sing classic rock.
All right. All right.
Jim said he felt a little bit foolish.
Kind of like a eunuch in a whorehouse.
But now he says,
I like it. I like it.
The Mad Dog just can't piss enough of that cottage cheese butt.
If he wants me to sing God Bless America and pasties and a G-string up here, I'll do it.
You got soul, and everybody knows that it's all right. All right.
Listen to the Mad Dog sing himself happy.
All right. All right. All right. All right. All right.
Jim Mandich sings duets, available now at all Blockbuster stores.
You know, I'm Googling this thing about most hated athletes.
Yeah.
And some of the names on here just are shocking. I don't even get it.
Shocking because you never heard of them, or you can't believe they're hated?
Just, I don't know. Let's see, Kurt Busch. Is he related to Chris Bush?
Oh.
Who the hell is Kurt Busch?
I think he's a NASCAR driver. I think.
He dropped out of He won the 2004 Nextel Cup Series. I don't know.
Well, that's, we're not going to put NASCAR people on there, are we?
Last November, after being pulled over outside Phoenix, he said to the officer, "Aren't you supposed to be directing traffic somewhere?" He's a jackass, but nobody ever heard him. I mean, there's several people on here that just, look at who's number 2 on this list. Number 1 is Terrell Owens, and number 2, how many guesses do you need, Josh? BB are the initials. Barry Bonds.
Okay,
10 most
broiled in butter.
Yeah, broiled in butter, like shrooms.
Bobby Bonds.
Bobby Bonds. Now, nobody did like Bobby Bonds.
I know,
Bobby Bonds was good. He's a good ball player. Now, he wasn't the greatest player of all time.
No, he wasn't.
That distinction would be Smokey Burgess. Now, like Leighton Hewitt is on here. I like Leighton Hewitt only because he looks good, but, I mean, who the hell even knows who that is? Do you know who that is?
No, I heard a latent homosexual, but not him.
You heard of Foster Hewitt and Bill Hewitt. Leighton Hewitt's a tennis player. You never heard of him? He's from down under.
No.
I've heard, but what's the reason for that?
Oh, I don't. I mean, if you want, I'll read these, but I don't want to read on the air. Tom Jekyll will get upset. So, but I'm only picking and choosing. For example, like Ray Lewis, and it says next to his name, criminal. Yeah. Phil Mickelson. I mean, if we're going to put Tiger Woods on there we never put Tiger Woods on there today, did we?
Why would
because
we
he's
put
not a
him on?
baseball. We're not doing athletes. We're doing Oh, I see.
Yeah, come on now.
Sorry. I almost got talked into that. Ricky Williams was on one of the lists, so I put him on there, even though he won't do well in South Florida because, again, he's considered, the firm-running phony crowd. Although most of us aren't Dolphin fans anyway. Michael Irvin, that's the can't take the scum. You went out of scum.
Oh, how about Keyshawn Johnson?
Keyshawn, despised by all. Like, what kind of a name is that anyway? Keyshawn Johnson. These names just send me right to the bowl. Maybe that's why George was running this morning. Maybe he had to do a Keyshawn.
Hey, I just did an encore during that last break.
No, get out of here. An encore performance?
Right. That's right. Standing ovation, too.
And I heard it was an open house. Now, here's a good idea. This might brighten your day, George. Here's an idea for you.
All right.
A Muslim couple in New Delhi, India, have been told by local Islamic leaders they must separate after the husband divorced his wife in his sleep. Sohaila Ansari told friends that her husband, Aftab...
Wait a minute. All right, I got my pen. How did this
happen? As soon as I saw this story, I knew who I thought of. Her husband, Aftab, had uttered the word talaq, or divorce, 3 times in his sleep.
Talaq?
Talaq. T-A-L-A-Q.
Okay. I don't want to spell it wrong. T-L-A-Q.
According to a report published in newspapers today. Yeah, I know, you like it a lot. When local
Islamic
leaders will you listen to this? When local Islamic leaders got to hear, they said Aftab's words constitute a divorce under an Islamic procedure known as triple talaq. See, it takes 3 talaqs. The couple married for 11 years with 3 children were told they had to split. The religious leaders ruled that if the couple wanted to be married, they'd have to wait at least 100 days, so Hela would also have to spend a night with another man, be divorced by him in turn. The couple who live in the eastern state of West Bengal have refused to obey the order, and the issue has been referred to a local family counseling center. India's minority Muslim population is governed by Islamic personal laws on issues such as marriage, divorce, and property inheritance. This is a totally unnecessary controversy, and the local community leaders or whosoever said are totally ignorant of Islamic law, said Zaraful Islam Khan, an Islamic scholar, editor of the Milli Gazette, a popular Muslim newspaper. I thought my mother wrote that, the Milli Gazette. The law clearly says any action under compulsion or in a state of intoxication has no effect. The case of someone uttering something while asleep falls under this category will have no impact whatsoever, Khan told Reuters. Well, you give it a try. Can't hurt.
What if you're sober, conscious, and standing on the roof of your house?
And you're awake and screaming it outside the front door. Talak, make sure everybody in the hood hears it. In fact, I'd say go to my house and stand in the front door and hear it and chase away those neighbors with their crazy Jesus books. Go away and stop polluting my doorstep with your garbage, okay? You crazy people, you. God. 1,021 votes on the pool, and Barry Bonds is much closer to the bottom than the top. That's the bad news for Josh.
Well, they don't know nothing.
No, they just don't agree. They could all be wrong.
And they
could be. Well, there you go. They're all wrong. All right. Just like George Bush says, the rest of the world is out of step. I'm the man. I'm the man. That's right. Fool me once. Researchers say they've created cloned piglets that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids and oil that is prized as being beneficial to the heart. Oh, look at that poor little pig sitting on top of its pen at a farm. Well, if those aren't the ugliest animals, you know what?
What, pigs?
God, pigs.
Yeah, have you seen a platypus?
I mean, well, no, but I mean, even like other animals that aren't very attractive. Well, I guess a hippo ain't all that.
Yeah, rhinoceroses.
Well, yeah, little rhinos are probably pretty ugly.
Have you seen anteaters lately?
Omega-3, yeah, I've seen one in a movie. Omega-3 is mostly found in fish, but this supply is threatened by over-trawling and clouded by worries about mercury pollution, which accumulates in fish livers. Oh, God. A team led by Yifan Dai of the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine transferred into fetal pig cells a gene called FAT1 that have been identified in a well-studied lab animal, a tiny worm known as something. Caenohora elegans. Caenohora.
What?
FAT1 converts the abundant but less desirable omega-6 fatty acids into the coveted omega-3. The nucleus of pig eggs was then removed and substituted with the nucleus from these engineered cells, following the now classic method of animal cloning that began with Dolly in '96 and Louis Armstrong, with that hanky wiping the sweat off his fat face. The researchers' prime aim is to gain a better understanding of cardiac function, where hog and human are strikingly similar. Do you know that? Well, I guess you've seen Fat Boy.
I didn't know that.
We would use these animals as a model to see what happens to heart health if we increase the omega-3 levels in the body. It could allow us to see how that helps cardiovascular function. The headline in the article says, eat bacon made from baby pig, cloned pigs. Well, maybe I'm going in the morning when I eat my bacon from now on, I'll have cloned pig bacon. How's that?
Okay.
Sounds like a deal to me.
You have twice as much?
Yeah. Could just eat it just shove it down my gullet. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. WQAM, hello. QAM. Oh, I was silent. That pleasant? WQAM, hello.
Yes, is this the Neil Rogers show?
Yes, sir.
I just turned on and I heard a story about something. I would like to make a comment on it.
Well, a story about what?
He just mentioned something about how somebody in India divorced them.
Talak. I'm divorcing myself.
Oh, you said it 3 times.
Yeah. That's why I'm officially divorced from this call. Well, he wanted to tell Neil something. Neil's busy. 5670560. It's the time. We only, Tom must have had a dynamite audience Friday night, 1 o'clock in the morning, because if he really did go into that tirade, which who the hell knows, because it's just a fax, but I do believe it. You'd have thought there would be, like, especially since it was about me and connected with this show, there'd be something. So evidently, Tommy, one of us didn't have any audience, okay? Now, could be us, it's possible, or Tom. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Can you ask Cal Ripken Jr. to the poll?
Cal Ripken Jr.? Oh, nobody don't like Cal. Oh, for the best. Yeah, let's put him on today's poll. See, now it's confusing me. Cal Ripken Jr., what's not to like, right? He played in 75 million straight games, right? He broke Lou Gehrig's record.
Yeah, but we're not. I mean, come on.
What?
We can't put him against the guys that are on the poll here.
You don't want to put Cal Ripken Jr. on there? Why not? I bet you he gets a couple of votes. I bet you that old
Well,
code,
that's because people don't know anything, but I mean, come on.
Put him on there, please. See, now all of a sudden you're getting surly because of your boyfriend's problems there, because of his roid problems.
Are you honestly going to tell me that Cal Ripken Jr. was as good as any of these guys on the poll here?
His boyfriend got roids and created a real problem.
This is Neil Rogers. Welcome. This is 560 QAM.
This is Scott Burrell. And when I'm up in Boca Chica slapping old women with painted lips around the pool, I listen to the Neil Rogers 1 to 2 hour. I listen to the Neil Rogers Fair and Balanced 1 to 2 hour.
My driver's license photograph might not really look like crap. Under my eyes get half closed, and what the hell's hanging out my nose? My head is tilted towards the floor. Don't even have a haircut anymore. When the cops pull me over, I'm sunk. 'Cause in the picture I look like a drunk. When you get your license renewed, you try to look good, but you get screwed. It's just a lady at the DMV. Takes the picture and then says cheese. Oh, God, why? What does my picture even look like me? My real driver's license looks like a fake ID. It won't retake it, Oh, why? My driver's license photograph. Every time they make me look like crap. Every time they make me look like
crap. It's a 101 at 560. We got Curtis coming along at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Mad Dog at the AAA, the Mickey Harrison Slip in the Mickey Arena at 4. 6:30, it's a Panther preview. Panthers and the Bruins in Boston at 7 o'clock tonight, who just fired their GM, the Bruins. And Jesse Aguilar after the hockey game, Mr. Hockey Jr. Let's see. I'm on I don't even know what this website is, and I can't figure out. You ever get on a site like that? It's, I don't know
all
what
the time.
it is.
Just this morning.
Journals.ad. I don't know. It's about SBL. Who the hell's SBL? Most Hated Athletes. And it's got all these different categories, and I've picked a couple of these out. Of course, Kobe Bryant, most hated rapist. Peyton Manning, right, Josh?
Not that I know of, but okay.
I hate him. Roger Clemens, fat, big mouth, obnoxious, retired 400 times. Some of the interesting ones here, like NCAA, and we're not putting these on tomorrow, but 3 most hated figures, NCAA football. Steve Spurrier, number 1, Bobby Bowden, number 2, and Phil Fulmer, number 3. I don't know who Phil Fulmer is. Who's that?
I know who that is. Hold on.
I'm holding it. Well,
I think he's the Tennessee coach. I don't know. I'm going to look it up.
NCAA basketball's 3 most hated figures. Wait till you hear who number 1, especially right. The timing is perfect. Dick Vitale is number 1, most hated figure in NCAA basketball. Amen. Amen, baby. Coach K is number 2. They don't want to put out Krzyzewski, so they put Coach K. And J.J. Redick is number 3. And NHL's 3 most hated players. Well, look at that.
Yeah, he's a Tennessee football coach.
Todd Bertuzzi, which I put him on our list. Darius Kasparaitis and Jarkko Ruutu. Ty Domi don't even make the list. And NASCAR's most 3 hated figures. Kurt Busch is number 1, and then after that it says inconcluded, nobody. Now, I'm going to vote. They got their own little poll on here. I'm going to vote for, well, just to make you happy, I'll vote for Dick Vitale. Here's the, it says, who is the most hated figures in sports, all sports? Then the choices are Todd Bertuzzi, Barry Bonds, Kobe Bryant, Kurt Busch, Terrell Owens, Steve Spurrier, Dick Vitale, or other. I'm putting Dick Vitale, okay? I voted, and here's what it is. Oh, you'll be pleased to know it was close. They got almost 3,000 votes. Terrell Owens, 38%. Barry Bonds, 36%. Kobe Bryant, 19%. And after that, small potatoes, Dick Vitale, only 6%.
Well, if we're going guys like Dickie V and stuff, are we going to do...
No. Most of the athlete. He no athlete.
No.
God. Maybe at the dinner table, that's about it.
He's not awesome, baby.
Yeah. He's awesome when it comes to being despised. Makes me nauseous. God. And then there's a whole bunch of Dickie V wannabes, too. You've noticed that. I don't know what their names are, nor do I care. By the way, I looked up Cal Ripken Jr., and he already has 2 votes. His lifetime batting average was .276, which is okay. You know, it's all right. And his lifetime home runs .431, which, again, it's a respectable figure, but certainly doesn't put him anywhere in the category. The only thing he's got going for him is he was the Iron Man. That's all. He broke Lou Gehrig's record.
This is true.
And that's it.
That's it.
Good ball player, solid. I would say he was
rock solid.
But that's about it. Certainly not in the same category as these others. But we put him on. He's got 2 votes already. Probably relatives. New poll shows the Democrats lead by 9 points. So there's plenty of time between now and elections to blow that. Time magazine survey shows unhappiness with the GOP, but can Democrats translate that into a power shift? Well, you know them. It's like the Leafs and the Canadiens last night, both desperately trying to blow those leads in the last 5 minutes. Time's latest poll finds American voters heading into November's election dissatisfied with the Republican-dominated status quo, but not necessarily convinced the answer lies in voting Democratic. The poll conducted March 22nd and 3rd finds Americans unhappy with the performance of the Republican-controlled Congress. 39% approve versus 49% who don't, and give the Democrats a 9-point lead when voters asked to state which party's candidate they choose for the House. 50% said Democrat, 41% Republican. Voters favor Democratic control of Congress by 49% to 38% who want Republican control. And it goes on. But a beat, but a boop. There you go. Time magazine, for what it's worth. About 50 cents. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless line. So here's what I got for tomorrow so far. The athlete, the all-time athlete you dislike the most. Pretty big list. O.J. Simpson, Pete Rose, Barry Bonds, I hate sports, I hate this poll, Kurt Warner, Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco, Rafael Palmeiro, Wayne Gretzky, Needlenose, Kobe Bryant, Keyshawn Johnson, Kurt Schilling, Terrell Owens, Ron Artest, Ty Domi, Mike Tyson, Todd Bertuzzi, Brian Cox, John Rocker, old John Rocker, Ricky Williams, Michael Irvin, Ray Lewis, Phil Mickelson, Peyton Manning, and Roger Clemens. Fat Roger Clemens. Come on, retire already, Roger. It's enough. Enough of the BS. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Amusement park, and there were 50,000 people. They were going to let them all in free to ride the rides, and all the little kids are going to have fun.
That's Pharrell.
Oh,
great. That was Pharrell on it. Yeah. Great. WQAM sounds the same as usual. QAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Listenable, yes.
I think Cal Ripken will be inducted in the Hall of Fame next year. Barry Bonds, he won't even go in on the first ballot. But is Stan Musial on your list?
No. You got.
Oh, God.
We can put him on it. Well, what do you mean, oh, God? Stan Musial wasn't known as much of a base runner. He was as slow as molasses. He was, But we can put him on there.
Compare him to Mickey Mantle. And
yeah. You compare him now. I wouldn't put him in the same league with Mickey Mantle. Not even in the same ballpark with Willie Mays or Mickey Mantle. Are you kidding me? I mean, we can, we can start putting on like Andy Pafko and, some of those guys. How about Yogi Berra?
Well, I don't know about him.
Well, I do. He's likes the Aflac Duck, and he said it ain't over until your call is done, and believe me, it's done. What the hell was that guy talking about? He said Elston Howard? You can put Stan Musial on there if you want. But then, see, we can put all the great players on there, and then we'll have a list of like 50,000 names. That's not the point. See, the question is, who is the greatest baseball player of all time? I mean, if you try to tell me Stan Musial is better like Babe Ruth or Ty Cobb, I'd look you in the face and go, I mean, there are other great players we haven't put on there because of the generational thing, I mean, Ty Cobb is from 800 years ago, but how about like Walters Johnson? How about Rogers Hornsby, huh? How about Gabby Hartnett? Gabby Hayes, right?
Huh?
Hank Greenberg? WQAM, hello. If he wants to put Stan Musial on there, what about Al Kaline? QAM, hello.
Yeah, how about Ron Santo?
Yeah,
anyway. Hey, Neil,
one of the worst
remember last
announcers,
week
I'll tell you that.
Commander of chimps was running around the nation talking about the success story of Tal Afar in Iraq, where they cleared out all the insurgents?
Yeah.
Bombing there today, suicide, killed 40.
All right. Yeah, I had that on before.
Yeah, that's the success story.
We're doing it, baby. Don't forget, mission accomplished, MI, mission accomplished.
If that's the success story, where's the failure, right?
Everywhere. Okay, thanks. Yeah, the smirkling chimp. Doug Thompson writes, your favorite. Do I have time for this? Yeah, I'll make time.
Make time, right. It's your format.
What about that? No, I don't think I got time. This is for when I do that, it's a bad idea because then Tom Jick is right. Then reading these bedtime stories is bad because I rush through them and I fumble and bumble, and nobody even gets the drift of them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody even gets the gist. Can I say that? Oh, sorry, Joyce. Nobody gets the of it. Can't say that.
Careful.
Spelled with a G, Joyce. Joyce with a J. Just with a G. Just cut the crap, Joyce. We got 1,053 vote on there. Did we put Stan Musial?
We did, yeah.
You don't have any votes yet. That guy will vote for him. You heard what he said? Oh, God, when I said, oh, he's not. Oh, God. I mean, how could you do that? Like, Joe Cunningham will be on there next. I mean, what about Red Schoendienst? Huh? What about Eddie Matthews? Boy, I sure liked Eddie Matthews. What about Dale Murphy? Huh? What about Raphael, what the hell was the shortstop for the Braves? Raphael, he was terrible. You know who was the announcer that really bugged me the most?
Who's that?
I was thinking about this yesterday. Ernie Johnson with the Braves.
Yeah.
Remember Ernie Johnson?
I do.
The ex-pitcher?
Yeah.
He was so annoying. Here's Raffy. Here's Raffy. Here's Murphy. Just the way he talked. He just didn't belong on the air. And then he also retired about 100 times. Even Mario Lemieux never retired as many times as Ernie Johnson. God almighty. And then every time some of the Braves games would wind up on another one of those Atlanta cable stations, there would be Ernie Johnson again. They'd schlep him out again. They've had some of the worst announcers, other than Skip Carey. Now, is Chip working with him on a game? So I don't watch any baseball. I guess it's Skip and Chip and Flip.
Yes.
Yeah, they're good. But other than that, Pete Van Weeren, man, he's just horrible. They've had some of the most awful announcers there in Atlanta. And Ernie Johnson. What the hell was that shortstop? Rafael Ramirez. Oh, what a mind. What a brain. Rafael Ramirez. Am I right, Josh?
When are you talking about?
Just a few years ago. Oh, Google it, for Christ's sakes. What is wrong with you? You're giving me an argument about Barry Bonds is the best player of all time. You don't even know Rafael Ramirez? Next thing, you're going to ask me who the hell Ryan Sandberg was.
Okay, ridiculous now.
The hell's right? And how come Ernie Banks isn't on this list? Let's get some Cub juice on here. See, Stan Musial's got one, as Harry Carey would say Musial. I don't know why he said that. He always said that. Ernie Banks, right? Let's play 10.
Okay.
Now, certainly, you remember, Ernie Banks.
Of course, yeah.
How about Willie McCovey? You're a big Giants guy with that Barry Bonds crap. Willie McCovey, you want to get him on there? He was good.
Okay. It's
Willie Stargell.
Whatever you want.
Willie Stargell, Dave Parker, Bill Mazeroski, Dick Grote.
Listen, maybe I should just
Rocky Nelson.
copy all the major league players that have ever
Now
played
we're
the game.
talking. There you go. Let's do it the fair way.
Let's not mess around.
Everybody a chance. Right.
This is
Camilo Pascual, Pedro Ramos.
It's Hurricane Hotline, Thursday night at 7 from Bernie Kosar Steakhouse in South Miami. Talk college hoops with head coach Frank Hayes here on 560 QAM.
You got.
Oh, gee. You know, I never made the first move. I saw you staring.
I wasn't looking at you.
Yeah.
No, I was looking nowhere at you.
I think it was love at first sight.
Oh, my God.
I'm so unlucky. What do you mean? I met a girl. I wonder. She had a goiter. I gave him a name, too. She named Earl. And her legs were full of hair. And all her teeth were black. She smelled like wine and turpentine and had a big hump on her back. That's scoliosis. She's hideous. She's hideous. She's hideous times two. And if you saw her face in a crowded place, you would throw up in your mouth.
Toy.
Hey, give me a kiss. Give me tongue too. She looked like a sick crack hole. Sort of like Janet Reno.
That's a shot. 116 at QAM. Al-Qaeda conspirator is Zacharias, or is it Zacharias, or who cares, Moussaoui?
We just call him Zach.
The Moussi man testified today that he and would-be Zach, watch your back, Zach. Testified today that he and would-be shoe bomber Richard Reed were supposed to hijack a fifth airplane on September 11th and fly into the White House. Moussaoui's testimony on his own behalf stunned the courtroom as he disclosed details he had never revealed before. It was in stark contrast to his previous statements in which he said the White House attack was to come later if the U.S. refused to release a radical Egyptian sheikh, or is that sheikh, imprisoned on earlier terrorist convictions, Sheikh Yaboudi. Moussaoui testified he lied to investigators when arrested in August of 2001 because he wanted to let the attacks on 9/11 go forward. Yes, you can say that, he said when the prosecution asked if that was why he misled them. The statement was the key to the government's case that the attacks might have been averted had Moussaoui been more cooperative following his arrest. He told the court he knew the attacks were coming sometime after August 2001 and bought a radio so he could hear them unfold, which he sure as hell wouldn't have been listening to QAM if he was in Miami or across the street, which they weren't on the air yet. Specifically, you see that? I'm thinking during this last break, and I saw this story, and I'm thinking about when we were at QA at IOD, and there was like a hurricane, Andrew, or like some major news event, the OJ trial. Everybody in town would tune to us to hear it, and we had the news department involved, and we were like all over it, like stink on Greg, Remember?
Yeah, I remember. I'm trying to forget.
Oh. And now, just like on 9/11 when Gully's like, oh, well, what are we going to say about it? A couple of buildings found. What are we going to say? Come on, we got to talk about sport. Sport. God, can we ever live that down?
No.
Specifically, he said he knew the World Trade Center was going to be attacked, but asserted he wasn't part of the plot and didn't know the details. Taking the stand in his own defense in his death penalty trial, he said he declined to become a suicide pilot in some future attack when asked by a senior Al-Qaeda official in 1999. I had knowledge that the Twin Towers would be hit, he said. I didn't know the details. Asked by his lawyer why he signed his guilty plea in April as the 20th hijacker, he replied, because everybody used to refer to me as the 20th hijacker was a bit of fun. Moussaoui testified calmly in his death penalty trial, but against his lawyer's wishes. Before he took the stand, his lawyers made a last attempt to stop him from testifying, but failed. Defense attorney Gerald Zirkin, who looks like a gherkin, argued that his client would not be a competent witness because he has contempt for the court, only recognizes Islamic law, and therefore the affirmation he undertakes would be meaningless. Asked by Zirkin if he was supposed to be one of the men who would pilot a plane on 9/11, he said no, adding, "I'm sorry, I don't know about the number of planes, but I was not the fifth hijacker." About his guilty plea, he said, "I took a pen, I signed it." There you go. That's Zacharias Musawi, the Musi man. He's almost as unctuous as Kira Phillips.
Sources say Rahman could soon be freed, and the Associated Press reports the UN says he's seeking asylum outside of Afghanistan. That's not sitting well on the home front, though. Even after the Taliban becoming Christian, renouncing Islam is a capital offense under Afghanistan's Islamic laws. Rahman's cause triggered outrage in the outside world.
Death to the Christian! 567.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try to argue with that.
Oh, man. 567-0560, pound 560 in the Verizon signal. All you crazy religionists, go kill each other and leave the rest of us alone already. We want nothing to do with it. We're not part of your fight. 1,075 votes. The greatest baseball player of all time. And isn't this appropriate now the baseball season's going to be starting any moment now? What's opening day, Josh? April 3rd?
Yeah, I mean, the Marlins don't start the season on the road. They come home.
Yeah, but the good news, I told George, were you in there when I was telling George this morning about the schedule? I never know when you're in there. You're always very sneaky and quiet.
He's in and out.
That's me. I'm sneaky.
Anyway, April 12th, which that's a Wednesday. Not that far away either. At 1:05, the Padres are in for 2 afternoon games, 12th and 13th, 1:05 both days.
Yeah,
and
which is their first home series.
Oh, and the 19th, the following Wednesday, the Reds game, which I'm sure must be in Cincinnati, 12:35 p.m. That sounds like a noon exit for us on that day.
This is good.
See, I spent my time, since they haven't bothered giving me the schedule yet, I spent a little bit of time, about 5 minutes yesterday, researching the April, so there's 3 days in April that we get like an early exit, to which we say, not that we don't want to do our part and do our duty, but, anytime we get a chance to get out early, that's right. Like, for example, Hank's going off to Vegas, so you don't see him on the schedule on Thursday or Friday, or, you know what I'm saying? And then 2 to 4 on Thursday and Friday, I'm seeing, and I want to kill myself. I just want to impale myself on a sharp object till I keep in mind what you said, and that is forget about it.
Yeah.
It's the only means of surviving.
Forget about it.
That's right. See, even he knows.
Don't get any on you.
Ooh. Doug Thompson, Capitol Hill Blue, says just a little old-fashioned karma coming around. He says the right-wingers call it a witch hunt, the left wing calls it justice. Whatever you call it, blogger Ben Dominic and WashingtonPost.com both got what they deserved. You have to wonder what the suits at WashingtonPost.com were smoking when they decided to create a right-wing blog called Red America and then hire a 24-year-old wannabe book editor who brags about not being a journalist to write it. That was a shallow move by so-called journalistic entity. Dominic's short-lived tenure at the Post website came to an embarrassing end Friday when he resigned after the blogging community uncovered multiple cases of plagiarism by the youngster who works as an editor at the ultra-right-wing Regnery Press. Resigned, as Washington speak, for fired it. I want to apologize to National Review Online, my friends and colleagues here at Red State, and to any others that have been affected over the past few days, Dominic wrote Friday under his pen name Augustine on the Red State website, the right-wing web diatribe he helped to start. I also want to apologize to my previous editors and writers whose work I used inappropriately and without attribution. There's no excuse for this, nor is there any excuse for any obfuscation in my earlier statement. Obfuscation, Dominic speak, for I got caught and tried to weasel my way out of it. Didn't work, now he tries contrition a little bit too late. The apologists at Red State say Dominic will take some needed time off from the website. That's their doublespeak for banishment. Our critics can raise their glasses and toast to what they think is success, tearing down a flawed conservative, the Red State Masters posted Friday, but therein lies their greatest weakness. Destroying a conservative is not to destroy conservatism. And while they put all their energy and venom into this campaign, it's worth remembering that for all the noise, they have yet to present a real alternative to an America that rests on the foundation of freedom, free markets, and family. Against that, the only answer they have is yet another personal attack. Oh, the hypocrisy of politics. It's a personal attack when the other side does it. Red State, like most partisan blogs on both sides of the political fence, exists primarily to attack the other side. Most of them, conservative or liberal, are too busy bashing each other to offer any real alternatives. Red State is where Dominic called Coretta Scott King, the late wife of civil rights legend Dr. Martin Luther King, a communist. He later called the claim a joke, but I've learned after too many years of dealing with the right wing that most of them lack a sense of humor. Dominic also claimed to use material originally written by author P.J. O'Rourke with O'Rourke's knowledge and permission. That came as quite a shock to O'Rourke, who told the New York Times he's never heard of Dominic and didn't remember ever meeting him. I wouldn't want to swear in a court of law that I never met the guy, O'Rourke told the Times, but I sure didn't give him permission to use my words under his byline, no. In Arlington, the suits at WashingtonPost.com scrambled to come up with a plausible-sounding explanation for their screw-up, while some of their own applauded the demise of Ben Dominic. Excuse me if I shed no tears over the elimination in the first round, indeed practically at the opening tip-off of the new social conservative blog, Red America, written by this cat who claims his name is Ben Dominic, writes post-blogger Joel Achenbach. I guess to be a blogger with a poster name has to end in CH. Apparently he saves time when writing by using words right off the shelf. Why produce customized writing when there's so many perfectly good words already crafted? Dominic is supposedly 24, but I'm betting right here and now that he's a junior in high school, Achenbach continues. All this under investigation. His blog, Red America, didn't contain anything that would make someone think he was the second coming of William F. Buckley. Indeed, this whole affair seems like a spoof, a prank, to make all the real, authentic, rock-ribbed, hard-headed, if perhaps slightly lizard-hearted conservatives look bad. But, of course, they say that about the entire last 5 years of the American government. During an online chat session Friday, post-humor columnist Gene Weingarten observed, journalism is journalism when you need people to have an idea what they're doing, even if they're just fulminating on the web. Amen, but the message is lost with the bosses at WashingtonPost.com. In the past 24 hours, we learned of allegations that Ben Dominic plagiarized material that appeared under his byline in various publications prior to WashingtonPost.com contracting with him to write a blog that launched Tuesday. WashingtonPost.com executive editor Jim Brady wrote on the Red America blog Friday. An investigation of those allegations was ongoing, and in the interim, Dominic has resigned effective immediately. Brady continued, when we hired Dominic, we weren't aware of any allegations that he had plagiarized any of his past writings. In any cases where allegations such as these are made, we'll continue to investigate those charges thoroughly in order to maintain our journalistic integrity. Sorry, but the Post's journalistic integrity went out the window when they, 1, decided the website needed a right-wing blog, and 2, hired an amateur to write it. It was a stupid move, and the Post deserves all the shame that comes from such incredible stupidity. And people like them can't afford to be made to look stupid or ridiculous. That's what Marlon Brando said.
All the time, I heard.
Yeah. Now, who was it that said that?
Jack Waltz.
Made to look, that was Jack Waltz said in The Godfather.
Let me tell you something.
Said that to Tom Hagen just before he went to Horseheads, New York. I'll tell you one thing. If there are any people alive who haven't seen The Godfather, we don't want to talk to you. We don't want to know you.
That's right.
We don't want to see you.
It's like a
touchstone. We don't want to hear from you. Right?
It's like a checkpoint.
Right.
If you haven't gone that far, we don't want to.
It's like taking somebody's pulse.
Right.
Oh, you didn't see The Godfather? Oh, you're a dead man. You got no pulse.
Get away from me. You're unclean.
Fair. 26 past 1 at 560 WQM. According to a recent survey, Americans keep their mattresses for 10.2 years. That's like keeping a car for 100,000 miles. If your mattress is 5 to 10 years old, it's probably not performing like it used to do. You need to call 1-800-MATTRESS, the number for our friends at Dollar Mattress, ranked number 1 for customer satisfaction, so there's no risk. Order a mattress from the expert bedding consultants at Dollar Mattress and try it out. If you don't like it, just call them back at 1-800-MATTRESS, and they'll replace it to your total satisfaction. Your total satisfaction. Once you buy from 1-800-Mattress, I guarantee you'll never go back to a showroom again. It's so easy with that one easy call. 1-800-Mattress. You pick out the 2-hour window you want them to show up at your house with delivery. They show up on time. Take away the crappy old soiled bedding. They go, and you're on the way to a great night's sleep for years to come. When you call Dollar Mattress, you get no nonsense, no runarounds, no showroom shenanigans, just factory direct prices on the best brands you know, trust, and love like Sealy, Serta, Simmons, King Coil, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster Hewitt, and right now, Dollar Mattress offers you no payments or interest for 12 months. What's not to like? Call 1-800-MATTRESS or log on to their website, mattress.com, for the best sleep you've had in a long time, maybe the best ever. 1-800-MATTRES. Leave off the last S because it stands for savings.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
First you get down on your knees, fiddle with your rosaries, bow your head with great respect and genuflect, genuflect, genuflect. Do whatever steps you want if you have cleared them with the pontiff. Everybody say his own, Kyrie eleison, doing the Vatican right. Processional, step into that small confessional. They're the guy who's got religion. I'll tell you if your sin's original. If it is, try playing it safer. Drink the wine and chew the wafer. 2, 4, 6, 8. Times to transubstantiate. Get down upon your knees. Fiddle with your rosaries. Bow your head with great respect and genuflect, genuflect, genuflect. Take a cross on your abdomen. When in Rome, do like a Roman. Ave Maria. Gee, it's good to see you. Getting ecstatic and sort of dramatic and doing the Vatican right.
I'll say a prayer for all of you. 2702 at QAM. So anyway, GQ has got their list of the top 10 most hated And guess whose picture is here, Josh? Evidently, even though he didn't win their pool, I don't understand that. And he looks like he's sucking on a quince. Got an SF cap on his head.
Oh.
Couldn't be Barry Bonds, could it?
Of course it is.
But he didn't win. Number 10, Leighton Hewitt. He's even booed in his own native Australia. Why put him on our poll? Just, we don't want to be left out. A.J. Przinsky, he kneed his father in the balls. Who the hell is A.J. Przinsky?
He is a catcher.
He is?
Yes.
And he kneed his father in the balls?
This I did not know.
Oh, well, that's what it says here.
His father might need those.
A.J., I'm going to put it on here. I mean, a guy who needs
spell that
daddy
right?
and...
Oh, you got it right there.
What?
Nothing.
What?
I said, you're going to spell that right? And I said, oh, you got it right
Yeah, because
there.
I'm going through, I'm copying it right off here. Phil Mickelson, other pros think his image is all phony, but working with most people. Bonzi Wells acts like a virus on and off the court. I don't know who that is.
He plays for...
Tennis, obviously.
No, he's a basketball player.
Oh, Bonzi Wells?
Correct.
I don't know who that is. Michael Iaconelli, America's biggest... Oh, I see. He's a fisherman, so it says bass hole. Oh, we can actually say that. Oh, I like that. I might pick up on that. You bass hole. That's excellent. But we're not putting no fisherman on here. Kobe Bryant, selfish, broke up a potential dynasty. Did I mention selfish? It says, for Kurt Schilling, very full of himself, some Diamondbacks actually think that he doctored that famous bloody sock. Bloody sock?
No.
What was that?
When he pitched in the World Series, they kept
He
showing
had a bloody sock? Oh, I missed that, thank God. Kurt Busch, number 3, criticizes teammates and thinks he's above everyone else. Kurt Busch. 2, Barry Bonds. Have you heard any good things about Barry Bonds from teammates? Has the world's biggest chip on his shoulder, it says. And number 1, Terrell Owens, do I even need to begin, it says. So there you go, a 1 and a 2. I don't think you have to worry about it. Because with T.O. on there, and also, of course, with O.J., who's not in here because, he hasn't played in a long, long time. Plus, these people are probably intimidated. City Hall banishes the Easter Bunny. The Easter Bunny's become a human rights issue in Minnesota, at least according to the St. Paul City Council. See, I don't understand. Well, I guess it's the same as Christmas, though, because Christmas supposedly was going to be like a real religious holiday, and then they jazzed it up with all kinds of like tchotchkes, like the tree
right,
with the tinsel and the stars.
A lot of pagan
and
stuff
the
got
balls.
thrown in there.
There's the balls again. See, every story you turn, there's balls hanging. Yeah. And the same with Easter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is Jesus getting coming back, isn't it? Or is
right.
it when he's crucified? I forget.
Well,
he gets crucified,
both.
and then he comes back shortly thereafter.
Right.
I get my crucifixes
He gets crucified on Friday, comes back on Sunday, which doesn't sound like 3 days to me.
Well, what was he doing on Shabbos?
Huh? Well, he rested.
Probably a woodbine. Probably losing his
Sure.
ass. Anyway, so Easter is about this very solemn thing, which, of course, is the basis of the whole fairy tale of Christianity, about how he was crucified and then resurrected and he rose again, written by people who lived 100 years later, but nevertheless. And yet, when you think of Easter, don't you think of like the Easter bunny and the Easter egg, like on the White House lawn?
Imagery.
And Easter eggs and those Cadbury eggs that are so yummy and they don't get anywhere near me because I can't stop eating after
those
the first
are all
400.
pagan fertility symbols.
Ooh, excuse me.
That's right.
Man, all that silly crap. The Easter bunny. The Easter bunny has become a human rights issue in Minnesota, at least according to the St. Paul City Council, after the city's human rights director Tyrone Terrell argued it would be a good thing to remove all Easter references from the City Hall lobby. Council President Kathy Lantry ordered any display celebrating the popular holiday to be taken down. According to the Minneapolis-St. Paul Star Tribune, the items in question included a cloth rabbit and pastel-colored eggs that read, Happy Easter. Well, what's the big tinnis with that? I mean, even as anti-religion as I am, I just get so, because, see, the important stuff they ignore. But all the silly little nonsense like this, they get all whipped up about, Is it Xmas? Is it Christmas? All this other nonsense. People got a little too panicky on this when Councilmember David Thune said, I think people should be encouraged to express their beliefs so long as they're not proselytizing. Amen. Quit trying to break people's arm, okay? Including my neighbors. Cut the crap. A council secretary purchased the items with her own money and for more than a decade has reportedly brought other holiday items for display. Mr. Terrell told the AP no one had complained about the recent display. He told the Star Tribune on Thursday, my issue wasn't about the rabbit or the egg. It was the sign on the door that said Happy Easter. Just like in the Old Testament, it wasn't the apple or the pear on the tree. It was the pear on the ground. That's what God got pissed off about, what they were doing. We talk about diversity, respect, inclusion. When you put that on the front door of a government office, it could be offensive to someone who's a Muslim, a Jew, an atheist, what have you. See, thank goodness the atheist at least came ahead of what have you.
That was me. What have you?
What have you? Not much. That's my job to bring it to someone's attention. Mr. Terrell didn't respond to calls from the Washington Times, but his voicemail message contains a recorded segment with direct references to Christian scripture of Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. Anger regarding the council's position has resulted in backlash both at local and national stages. Miss Langtry has received dozens of email complaints. Mr. Toon said he's received more than 500 emails, of which 90% of them are in favor of the bunny. I didn't know the bunny was Christian. Maybe the bunny is Jewish. Maybe the bunny's a Mormon. St. Paul Pioneer Press columnist Laura Billings said the city should return the decorations. Otherwise, if we're not careful, St. Paul is going to end up on the Daily Show again, she said. The Comedy Central program lampooned St. Paul last year when a culture dispute followed the placement of a statue featuring a popular Peanuts character in the same park as a statue honoring author F. Scott Fitzgerald. Oh, wasn't that Charlie Schultz?
Who?
No, what did George Schultz? That's what Hank said last night.
Sergeant
George
Schultz.
Another incident, Ms. Billings writes in her column that St. Paul reversed its initial response to a 2001 furor over poinsettia flowers with a little protest. That year, the city initially removed a display of red poinsettias, concerned about the religious connotations. I didn't even know that they had religious connotations. But later, a council member and local judge relented. What about lilacs? Do you get defrocked if you're wearing lilac?
Only in the Catholic Church.
Mr. Toon doesn't expect the Easter display to return. I don't think the secretary is trying to make any kind of statement. He said she has no intention of becoming a martyr. How do you like that? I think Jesus was the martyr. One was enough, wasn't it? Shouldn't that be enough to get you to heaven?
That's supposed to be.
There you go. Or else maybe those 7 virgins, you know. See, the Muslims are always talking about how much better and holy and about the depravity of Western society, and yet these guys that are killing themselves because they want those 7 virgins, it tells me the word horny comes to mind.
This
the Quran doesn't say
Neil
that.
Rogers. This is 560
Yeah, but they do. They're thinking about it a lot.
Man, it's such a dirty trade. Tanya tries to win. She was second best and it hurt her so. Oh. Nancy Kerrigan, the bitch was gonna win again. Tanya blocks revenge. Hires out a henchman. Oh. As Nancy K was leaving the ring, she snuck up from behind. Bang, bang, Tanya's silver hammer came down upon her knee. Bang, bang, Tanya's silver hammer made sure of victory. She's off balance, oh. She forgoes her plan, makes her way into the stands, murder on her mind. She has never minded a challenge, oh. The crowd, they make a break for the door, but it's too late to run. Bang, bang, Tanya's silver hammer just smashing in their heads. She would not leave Lil Hammer till everyone was dead. $20.48, Tanya's at the pearly gate. St. Pete checks his book. He gives her a look and he tells her no, oh. She claims she's innocent, laces up and throws a fit. Eternity's on the line. This guy's out of line and he's got to go, oh. As St. Pete was turning the page, Tanya took her aim. Bang, bang, Tanya's silver hammer rang St. Peter's bell. Buck's gates can kill no saints in heaven, and she went straight to hell.
All right. See, out of sight, out of mind. But I looked on many of these lists, and there was Tanya Harding on there.
How do you like
could
that?
argue with that? What a
Right.
bitch. Huh?
Right, and she turned into like a fat dykey-looking thing.
Well, good. See, that was the Lord giving her what for. Speaking of the Lord, Decatur High School student Kurt Hughes wouldn't call himself religious. This is in Decatur, Georgia, of course. You know, Kansas and Georgia, 2 states in the Stone Age.
Mm-hmm.
He's never even read the Bible. Well, like most people haven't read the Bible because if they did,
That's
they
right.
would Schmidt can it.
That's right.
Ain't even good to read on the crapper.
That's good comedy.
But he wouldn't mind taking a class on the holy text if it were offered at his high school in Decatur, Georgia. After all, you look at the Old Man and the Sea, King Arthur, even the Matrix, all have biblical allusions, the junior said. That's spelled with an A. I think he needs an I. It'd be useful to know exactly what's in it. Isn't that what they say, an A for an I, eh? The Georgia legislature seems poised to endorse just such a course, though students in many states enroll in classes related to the Bible. Georgia will become the first to require its Department of Education to put in place a curriculum to teach the history and literature of the Bible. I'll teach it. The world would be such a better place if I would teach it. Schools would use the book itself as the classroom textbook. Oh, cracker, please. Specifically, the bill would establish electives on both the New and Old Testaments. It has overwhelmingly passed both chambers, but needs a final vote on a minor House change. The vote may come today. If it passes, the state's Department of Education has a year to establish Bible elective courses in the curriculum. In the late 1700s, Congress thought enough of the Bible as a textbook that it printed 40,000 copies, but the bold effort in Georgia to use the Bible in today's secular curriculum may be about presenting it as a moral code, rather, like stoning your children to death, rather than a foundation to better understand the biblical allusions in literature. Behind this is the tension around the country about how to go about doing a Bible elective, and a lot is at stake, said Charles Haynes, director of the First Amendment Center in Arlington, Virginia. Oh. It don't end. They won't do it, so it won't stop.
Hey, it'd be fine if they would teach it accurately with all the baby killing and the child rape.
That's correct.
You know.
And all the begatting that was going on. Wedding, weeping. Oh, I feel bad even reading this. Weeping Patti LaBelle says her show on Riviera Beach was the worst ever. See, you did the right thing. You went and saw that Hasidic rapper.
That's right.
Rhythm and blues diva Pat. You could have gone to Riviera Beach.
No, thank you.
Patti LaBelle struggled through a weekend show after taking the stage at midnight, at one point sitting down and crying. There have been many a day on this show when I felt in the middle of the show like sitting down and crying, believe me. I've never been this embarrassed in my life, LaBelle told the crowd Saturday at the Riviera Beach Jazz and Blues Festival. This sucks. It's the worst show I've ever done in my life. Well, at least she's honest.
Yeah. Did she say why?
Can I get through this, or do you want make a premature evaluation?
Well, let's do both.
As temperatures dipped in the low 50s, LaBelle explained that she's nearly 62, has diabetes and a heart murmur, and the cold weather just wasn't agreeing with her. She's an old bag. The Grammy, well, I got diabetes and I'm 63, so that's why the show today ain't so great, okay? I'm going to say that every day, just for Tom Jicka's sake, who hates this show now. And guess what, Tom? Your column sucks. The Grammy-winning singer tried to belt out a few notes, then told fans huddled under blankets that she understood if they walked out on her. A steady stream of people left the show during her... Oh, you're bad. During her 45 minutes on stage after having waited through hours of opening acts. I've never, ever given you less than I can give. I'm going to give you everything you deserve, she said. She struggled through Lady Marmalade, as you're hearing in the back, with assistance from a few in the crowd. Some sang gospel songs, and On My Own before retreating. In other words, when in doubt, they all bailed out. That'll teach you to go see old Patti LaBelle. She's 62. She's got diabetes, a heart murmur,
and she
can't stand that cold weather. Huh?
They took her foot? I'm just making that part up.
Bad. That is really bad.
Like this song.
I know a way to shut that off. Medical marijuana issue returns to court. Each time the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled on medical marijuana, the justices have come down against allowing the sick and dying to use the drug to ease their symptoms and possibly prolong life. Because misery be us. That's the name of the game in the Supreme Court and the U.S. Misery be us. However, the door has never been fully closed, and now a federal appeals court is set to hear arguments today in the latest round of legal wrangling over the issue. The case being argued today before the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in San Francisco narrows the matter to the so-called right-to-life theory, that marijuana should be allowed if it's the only viable option to keep a patient alive or free of excruciating pain. That's what George says when he goes home. The only thing that can keep him from that excruciating pain of going into his house is smoking a big fat one. And I think we all tend to agree. It would only apply to the sickest patients and their suppliers, regardless of whether they live in one of the 11 mostly Western states that allow medical marijuana. A victory would affect people who are very seriously ill, facing death or greater physical suffering, said Randy Barnett, a Boston University Law School professor working on the case. The case was brought by Angel Rach, a 40-year-old mother of two from Oakland, who suffers from scoliosis, a brain tumor, chronic nausea, and other minor ailments. Oh, God. She's got psoriasis, baby. She uses marijuana every couple of hours to ease her pain and bolster her appetite.
Well, I got the vapors.
I got news for you. As far as bolstering your appetite, don't be smoking too much of that when you go to Amsterdam, because your appetite, you'll be spending a lot of time in Mickey D's and Killer Flu Chicken, and maybe the pizza slot, because there ain't no food there. There just ain't no food. You think that people that are smoking all day, you think that there'd be all kinds of great restaurants. Well, guess what? You'll find out when you guys go there. She'd probably be dead without marijuana, said her Dr. Frank Lucido, who's recommended marijuana for some 3,000 patients. Nothing else works, he said. The Bush administration says the lawsuit is without merit. Those grave robbers, the Bush people. There is no fundamental right to distribute, cultivate, or possess marijuana, Assistant U.S. Attorney Mark Quinlivian, the government's lead medical marijuana attorney, wrote to the appeals court. Jackass, basshole. Well, I do like that. That's that fisherman guy, the basshole.
Mm-hmm.
Voters in 96 made California the first state to authorize patients to use marijuana with a doctor's recommendation. 10 other states have since followed suit, but the federal government says there is no medical value to the drug. You know something? I think they need to start smoking it. Maybe we'd all be in much better shape. Maybe the world would be a better place in which to live.
Yes, it would.
In 2001, the Supreme Court ruled that Rachel's supplier, the Oakland Cannabis Buyers Co-op, could not lawfully dispense marijuana despite the California's voters' action, and yada yada. A footnote by Judge Clarence Token Thomas in his 2001 ruling left the legal questions surrounding medical marijuana unsettled and helped open the door to Monday's hearing. Yeah, well, if anybody ought to know, old Token Thomas, he wrote that important underlying constitutional questions remain unresolved, such as Congress's ability to interfere with states experimenting with their own laws, and whether Americans have a fundamental right to marijuana as a vehicle to help them stay alive and ease pain. Light a big fat one up, Clarence. You phony, you hypocrite, you BS artist.
This is 560
You fondler.
AM.
Those are good. Good. Okay.
Hey, there we go. Hey, y'all, my name is Clarence Eugene Thomas, President Bush's nominee for the Supreme Court. And you know, there's lots of people out there that think just cause I smoked a little marijuana when I was in college. Yeah, there wasn't nothing but a pen joint. Well, maybe a cigar-side joint. I don't remember, y'all. That they don't think I'm fit to be on the Supreme Court. Yeah, I got the munchies. Let's do this quick and get out of here. I want to set y'all straight. When I start reviewing the law, I don't just review the law. Hell, y'all, I be toking. And I toke it to the east, and I toke it to the west, and I toke it while I look up Sandra Day O'Connor's dress. I be toking. Let's go burn one, y'all.
Yeah, let's go burn a few Jews is what he really means, okay, as he's got that twisted cross on his forehead. What a phony, man. What a Nazi. Anyway, 1,137 votes on the poll. Who is the greatest baseball player of all time? Ernie Banks finally got one, Josh, and Cal Ripken Jr. has got 5.
That's terrible.
What? Oh, that he got the votes?
Yeah.
Look, you could put anybody. You could put Ish Kabibble on there, you get a vote. You put Phil Rizzuto on there, you get a vote. Am I right? The Scuda.
You're right.
Put Jim Brideweezer on there. Put Darren Dalton on there. At least he married some hot chick there for a while anyway. Who was he married to?
I don't remember.
Even George knows that.
Who?
Darren Dalton from the Phillies.
Sorry.
I forgot. I remember, but it was a while ago.
Somebody. Who's the greatest baseball player of all time? Babe Ruth, 229. The candy bar was not named after Babe Ruth. That is correct. But we learned some really useless crap today. It was very good.
Hey, this is important. There might be a quiz.
That's right. We're going to be having a quiz on Thursday, okay? On the Joe Zagacki Show. Oh. You know, I'm trying very hard to stick with what you're telling me, but, boy, they sure don't make it easy.
What's it got to do with you?
I hate baseball, 189. Willie Mays, 143. Say hey, Willie. He's still alive.
Hey, Willie.
I hate this poll, 110. Ted Williams, 93. I get the Willies when I think about Ted Williams' frozen head. The Splendid Splinter. Hank Aaron, 85. Hammerin' Hank. Mickey Mantle, 58. Pete Rose, 53. Joe DiMaggio. Joltin' Joe, the Yankee Clipper, 44. Ever stay at the Yankee Clipper? I think that's the hotel where they got the bar where, like, you see the people swimming in the pool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The water. You know what I'm saying.
I do.
Barry Bonds, 42. Roberto Clemente, 31. Ty Cobb, 28. Lou Gehrig, 24. Now, how many did Barry Bonds have? 42. He's still on Joe D's ass. 2 behind. Lou Gehrig, 24. Cal Ripken Jr., 5. Stan Musial, 2. And Ernie Banks, let's play 1.
Bye, bye, bye!